Yes!
We're back. November 13th, 2022, Virtual Strangers, episode 172 is live. I, of course, am your host, Wes. With me is all Eric. Eric, what are you doing here, man? Is this a special episode or something?
I'm invading, and every episode I'm on is a special episode.
That's true. Every episode is amazing when you're here.
Yeah,
Eric doesn't ask permission. He just shows up wherever the hell he wants to be.
We're just like, what the hell are you doing in here? Get out of here.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is like I just somehow I had the scene set up for you. I was like almost like I just psychic.
Like you knew.
Yeah.
You can't shake Roots, Eric. It doesn't matter what you do. He's on his game 24/7.
Yeah,
Dude,
I try to
he's
be.
been doing this for so long. He's such an OG with this stuff. Every
Second
time I
nature.
have an audio issue or anything, I just ask Roots, and he's like, yep, I got it figured out. No problem.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that is how many, like, if you could do a compilation of how many streams of time of me, like, trying to figure out what the fuck is happening is compiled for that, right? So, it's crazy.
We could literally do like a fucking 5-hour compilation of just, oh, the chat says something's wrong with the audio. Oh shit, Wes is frozen. What's going on?
Oh, Spry Guy and Jim Hall said there's an echo.
Oh, of course, they always say there's an
Right.
echo. Someone's probably here is probably sus, Spry Guy says, which I agree. Somebody is sus for sure. Actually, I feel sus because I missed Eric's stream last night, and I got out of my raid for World of Warcraft, and I actually got a piece of gear, and then I saw Mash's message at 6, and he was like, "Hey, here's the code," and I was like, "Fuck, man, stream was already over, dude." I felt bad. I definitely want to get into the next one.
People loving that Among Us, and this is how you can tell when a game, even as simple as a concept as that is, this is how you can tell it was good. Like I did not participate in Eric's live stream last night. I thought that maybe it would probably be a good idea to take a nap before I go to work, get a couple hours of sleep in. But I had a hard time going to sleep because my wife was in the next room playing it and just fucking laughing the whole time, loud, cackling. Like, I could tell you guys were having a blast, right?
Dude, it was so much fun. And I fear for you a little bit, Wes. Your wife,
Just
she
deceptive.
could be a serial killer, man. I swear to God. She killed me at one point. She snuck up behind me and killed me. And all I hear is before her mic cuts off is, bye, Mash. Deadpan, and then silence. She's like, I'm like, holy crap, man. Because I was live streaming it, and so everybody in the stream could see what I was seeing. They knew what was going on. So I'm talking to the stream afterwards, and I'm like, holy crap, that was harsh, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I got to say, she learned from the best.
Cardi B says it was such a
No
blast.
tell. There's no tell here.
Yeah, no tell. Well, actually, and apparently your daughter learned from the best too, because she's not having a Christmas because of getting you. Well, that's the beauty of this game is you as you're backstabbing somebody else, it's coming right back at you. So
Yeah. Anyway, everybody loving it, man. Roots, we're back, and I gotta say, I think we should take more shows off because, like, as badly as I wanted to do a show last week, I had fun streaming, and now we're back this week, and I'm putting the show together, and it's just like one thing after another after another. I just can't wait to talk about. Like, I'm happy to be here. I'm always happy to be here. I'm especially happy to be here today. We've got a great show lined up.
it sounds like maybe we have an adjustment maybe on the fly if we just start saying, okay, if there's not a certain threshold of news, it gets held to the next week and Wes gets a stream day and people, you know what I mean? Because you don't get much time to have a legitimate long stream during the day when everybody gets a chance to get there. And the beauty of this stream is everybody's expecting a show already. So you already have that captive audience ready to go. I think it could be, because why force the news if it's not there? And then, like you said, when the news is there, it's banger, 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 right? You know who loves banger, banger, banger? She loves it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know we'd be back today. Honestly, and to be honest, this is the case going forward. If I had to bet, I'd bet that this is probably the last full-fledged news-based show that we do for the rest of the year. Now, obviously, we're going to be in on Wednesdays talking about all these new releases, and geez, what a bunch of new releases we got coming. But as far as like the Sunday numbered episodes go, we'll probably be back once or twice, but it's just going to be to talk about the 2022 show, right? Nominees, categories, giveaways, these sorts of announcements we'll do on a Sunday episode. And as I say this, we'll probably be back next week with a handful of news, right?
Well, we're going to have to do at least one. Well, we don't have to do it on a Sunday, but it could be on a Wednesday. But, you know, kind of what we're doing now, there's still one more month of Game of the Months, right? Or even two,
That's
really.
true.
I guess if we technically do December's. So I don't know. You know, it's crazy.
I don't know. December's, we probably won't do December because all those, or the ones that are notable from December will get folded in to Game of the Year directly.
That's true.
And we'll be able to go back over them that way. And again, the entire purpose of Game of the Month is just to simplify and nominate games for Game of the Year. So
Gamertag says, yeah, he's in. He's in, Roots. I think he's in for it.
Yeah. Well, so what I was going to say, instead of one 24-hour show, we break it into two 12-hour shows because we have to anyway, right? Wes is like, wait a minute.
Let's do 2-hour, 12-hour shows back to back.
Back to back.
I am aiming for around 6 hours this year.
You were aiming for 6 hours last year.
Well, I have perspective this year that I did not have last year.
The fact that you fell asleep on air?
I was off air when I fell asleep. Thank you. I was not on air when I fell asleep.
That was the best, dude.
That was so good.
Because I just telling Eric, man, no, Eric, he's Wes does this all the time. He'll be here in a second. We're like, oh shit, dude, I don't think he's coming back, bro. And you know what's crazy is like, if that same thing happened, although Eric, I will say you did really well sliding right into that host slot, but it would be 100% different this year because you've had a whole year of doing Q2C VR as the host, even more so than you were last year. So like, it would be second nature. You'd be like, wouldn't even blink. And so it'd be cool.
Yeah. Eric coming into his own as a VR, not just host, but influencer. I mean, think about our little baby bird, Eric, that just came in here just a year ago. Eric was a community member who wanted to get more involved, and look at where we're at now, just 1 year later.
It's crazy. It shows you what you can do if you, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was telling Eric this the other day. Eric works his ass off. You know, he's where he's at because he's busted his ass, but it just shows you can do it. And we're glad to have you here. Eric, we give you a hard time about not needing you. You're the big toe.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you guys took me in, man. You guys showed me everything I need to know, so I appreciate it.
We love you, man. Glad to have you here.
Yep.
Anyway, Roots, the news, like I said, just keeps coming. Even after we put the show notes out today, the news didn't stop for us. There's a new mod, 2 in 2 days, by the way, being dropped on the Flat to VR modding community on Discord. Shit, man, I've already forgot what the name of this one is. Why don't you enlighten everybody?
Gunfire Reborn VR.
Yeah,
Gunfire.
Freaking crazy.
Yeah, it looks like a native VR game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It just, I was telling you guys before. So I guess you guys probably won't hear that sound. I was just saying that I feel bad for some of these indie devs, though. The ones, not the good ones. The good ones are going deep with the gameplay. But like all these flat games are being brought over, and they can't exist without the depth of gameplay. They don't have the gimmick of being in VR in the game. So a lot of these devs are going to have to step it up. So I mean, it's good. It's a win-win-win for us. And I think again we're probably gonna see some actually devs kind of have to disappear because they won't. I don't know, man. I just feel weird sometimes. Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Is this game a thing? Have you heard of this game before? Like I had no clue.
I haven't, but JS in the chat says I've been waiting on this one for a year. So apparently it is a thing that people know about.
Yeah, no, it's got a big following. Yeah, it's been out a couple years. It's got a big following. It's kind of like Risk of Rain 2. I didn't hear of that either until it came to VR. And I mean, I'm not saying the game. I have no idea what the gameplay is like, but it has a pretty big following, and so it just looks cool.
I'm interested in what the structure of the game is. That's the only thing you really can't tell by looking. The gameplay looks phenomenal. B-haptic support out of the box on day one. I mean, come on, what mod does that?
Yeah. Well,
Did in your modding community, did you hear this coming down the pike, or I mean, was this just like a brand new thing today, or?
Well, again, JS has been waiting on it for a year. I'm sure there's been some sort of talk about it. I don't read everything that goes on over there. I just watch the announcements, which is typically, okay, now you can download and play this. But there's all kinds of little projects like these that people were beta testing and working on everywhere. I mean, modding, we talked about it a bunch of times. It's kind of been the savior of PCVR. And honestly, with most of what we were looking forward to in 2022 getting pushed in the next year, I think the mods are kind of the story of the year.
Yeah, we're actually, it's gonna be probably a 6-hour segment alone on the VR mods this year, right?
Just the mod.
Yeah, well, Chris9989 says my newfound perspective is that YouTube only records for 12 hours. That's not exactly what I meant. We're not going to do so many awards this year. We're going to do just as many giveaways. We're going to give away over 100 games, just like we did last year. But we're not doing 50 awards this year. We're going to try to do around 30 awards and shave a few hours off there. Although I will say, if they will return, we will bring back our esteemed guests, Gamertag VR, and hopefully Brian will come back too to do their segments. This will be the third year we've had Gamertag on, if he has time to come and grace us with his presence.
I'd love to get Immersed Robot on the 2022 show, or any show, Gary. I just like Gary, man. I want.
Here's the thing, man. I've got a lot of ideas with people who would do great as presenters for certain awards. And I could think, well, I could invite this person, I could invite that person. We could really make it a special thing. That could be like the thing that takes it to the next level, instead of just, adding more content like we always do. But then I start thinking about that and what that would entail. And all of a sudden it gets a little bit more difficult, right? To line up everybody's schedules and record and edit all these segments. Who knows? We might bring another guest or two in this year, though. I've got some good ideas.
Cool.
Anyway.
Oh, what are your manners, Wes? You didn't even greet anybody. You just came in here and just started fucking smashing things around, bro.
Boom.
It's my house, bro. I don't have to greet shit.
They have to greet us.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, it is, as I mentioned at the top, November 13th, 2022. Guys, we are a mere 2 days away from PlayStation VR 2 pre-orders going live, and none of us have invites. We're not going to be able to buy it.
I'm so pissed off.
Dude, I'm fucking distraught.
So
pissed, man.
What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the odds are that we don't get any? We don't get one. Like we're sitting there with Todd.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? What was the whole early pre-order about 2 months ago? Like, how is it the fact that they told us to do this pre-order when that page went live 2 months ago? We all got in there, like we all did. Most of the other people probably didn't. We did. So what was that? Was that bullshit? Did we get pulled in with everybody else who did it the day that they announced it last week? Now and then it's just a draw of the hat, a draw of a hat to who gets it?
I'll tell you what, it was bullshit. And it wasn't, register here to pre-order. It was register here for pre-order updates and general information in your email inbox. But it was bullshit because we got none of that. I don't know about you, but I got nothing from doing that at all.
Have you checked? And then, are you sure, Wes? Because I don't think you've probably even checked your email since then.
I only check it 30 or 40 times a day each.
And if you forget, you have 2 or 3 streams a week to remind you when people say, "Hey, Wes, did you get the email?"
But Eric, you're asking what's going to happen here, or Roots, you're asking what are we going to do? According to this article that we've got up on the screen here, this is from CNET, which is a fairly reputable source. It says that we expect that on or shortly after the device's February 2023 launch, third-party retailers will be able to begin selling the PSVR 2. So if CNET's right, and I'm praying that they're wrong, if CNET's right, we're going to be able to get one, Roots, after it launches.
Yeah, and so, like, what the hell is that, man? Like, so I can't even have it on day 1. You have maybe day 3, day 4, depending on where you get it, right? If you can get it. I don't know, man. That sucks.
Eric, this is what I'm counting on. This is the kind of double-edged sword of the whole invite system that Sony has going on here. All these people who've got their invites, they're all going to pre-order direct from Sony. But if you read in the fine print, it says that Sony Direct pre-orders will ship throughout the week of launch, meaning it's not going to be on your doorstep day one like when Amazon does it. So it could be a blessing in disguise if they do let third-party retailers do pre-orders like in 2 weeks from now or something like that, and we end up getting one from Best Buy or Amazon. We could actually end up getting our headsets before the Sony Direct customers.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. Hell yeah, screw those people. And if I get an invite tomorrow, I'll be like, "Hoo, I'm getting my invite." As Alakazam just said, he got his invite with a $5 super chat.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Alakazam. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your invite. I'm not jealous at all.
Take your $5 back, bro. I'm pissed.
This is what you need to take from that message, Wes. He just got it. That means more have rolled out since because that was my thought, and you even asked, when is there going to be like this select few, and then in a week another select few? I mean, of course we don't know specifics now, but at least we know somebody else has gotten it after the fact.
Here's what I'm going to do, and this is true. I'm going to take every opportunity that I get to pre-order. So if Sony Direct sends me a pre-order, I'm going to order from them, and then if they go live with Amazon, I'm going to order one from them too. And I'm going to make sure that I get this thing here as soon as I can. And if I just so happen to reserve more than I want to keep, I'm sure that there's someone in our immediate circle here that will enjoy and appreciate help get with procuring their own. So I think that it's a safe investment to go ahead and do a couple proofs.
I'm still like hoping that the people that did them like Alakazam, when did you do your pre-order? That's what I want to know. Did you just do your pre-order like last week when it was announced that pre-orders were open, that you needed to get in there to get an invite? Or did you do it 2 months ago when a lot of us did? Because I'm still hoping against hope that the ones who did it early automatically get the invite on launch day. Like it opens up and we're automatically in there. And I'm hoping the ones that had to do it, that just did it last week, are the ones that needed this special invite. That's the only hope that I have.
Yeah.
Here's something I'm struggling with. I've got a doctor's appointment on that day when pre-orders go live.
What day is it?
And it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. God. 2 days from now. Yeah.
Do you know what time? I got to start looking at my schedule, Wes. You got me scared here, bro.
Well, here's the thing, man. So what? We don't have invites. Am I going to be able to pre-order anyway? Probably not. So why do I need to move my schedule around for it?
Why even look at my phone?
What if you could though? Well, what if you did though? What if you could and then you didn't do it because you're at doctor?
Oh, I'm going to be on guard. Trust me, I'll have watching the computer. I'll have my phone. I'll have my phone in my hand, ready to do this thing. I'm hopeful that another wave of pre-order invites goes out between now and Tuesday, but I'm not expecting it anymore. I'm prepared for the day to come and go, and it's gonna. Here's the worst thing: is it's not even 1 day; it's 3 days. So if they are going to do a secondary wave, it's going to be like Friday before it happens. It's depressing.
What are the odds?
Suspense.
What are the odds they don't do pre-orders through Amazon and Best Buy? I mean, everything else they've always done, right? Because that would be, for me, I always love to pre-order through Amazon anyway, because they're not going to take my money until they ship it, versus everywhere else they take their money.
Same thing with Sony. Well, I just learned this last week. The Sony direct pre-orders don't charge you until the thing ships.
Oh, shit, kiss my grits. Well. Do that. I don't care now. I'm in for Sony, bro. Let's do it.
I have another question too. So when Alakazam saying here, when are they going to take the money out? So I know for Amazon, they don't take the money until it ships. Now, is Sony going to? When you do the pre-order for Sony, you're going to have to do it pay it right away.
That's what Wes just said. He just said that they found out that they're not.
So how do they do that though? They didn't do that before, Wes.
I don't know. I just know that it's in the in the fine print Q&A stuff that they released last week that they won't charge you for your pre-order.
And do you think there's that many? How many people have we said are going, no, I'm not getting it? Do you think there's that many in demand that we can't get we can't even get an invite to pre-order it?
What have they not announced?
Well,
It
here's the
depends on
thing.
the games. If something comes out that's like so huge, dude, it could change on a fucking dime. And somebody in the chat was saying, they're already creating a scalping fucking environment by doing this delayed shit. You know, I don't know. I just wish I missed the old days where just everybody's gonna get it, and you don't have to worry about this artificial scarcity. People swooping in and grabbing 50 of them.
Old Dar says in Canada we have to deal with retailers going to hit as many as I can. Eric, do you want to go visit Todd? We could just go visit Todd, couldn't we? Stay a couple days in Canada and come back.
I could do it. Literally, I mean, Canada is only about 3 hours north of me. Like, I can cross the border in about 3 hours to Canada.
Will they let you in there? Will they let you in there, or do they, or will your felonies keep you at the border?
I may have to cross over illegally by the water, but I could probably do it.
They need to build a wall, Roots. Keep people like Mash out.
Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Why?
Keep people like Todd in.
For real. You know, shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's talk a little bit about the season. The season. Did you guys know it's Movember?
I did not know that. Actually, I didn't know that until you told me.
Like Movember, like mow your lawn? Oh.
That's what I said, man, because I don't know. You know, when I hear Brian say it, he calls it Movember, but when I look at the thing here, it looks like Movember, like you're moving, like Move Ember. So for those of you who don't know, this is a charity drive that's being organized by Serial Killer the Game Cat. And unlike most shitty charities that people always champion, this is one for the dudes. This is a men's health charitable organization which focuses on mental health and suicide prevention, testicular cancer, prostate cancer. They're raising money to battle these things that are basically causing men to die way too young. And I like the cause, man. And when he asked me what I mind supporting, and I looked into what it actually was, this is actually a good cause, Roots, unlike most of the scams that are going on out there.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, man. Like, if there's actually a cause, I have no problem. I love helping causes, something like this. There's so many times I'll go to the grocery store and they're asking me if I want to give my change to whatever flavor of the week. And it's all about the people that are running it. Do you trust the people that are running it, right? And so this is a good cause. Right. I definitely think people should support it. And especially, you know, with everything that we've seen in our communities with mental health and just suicide, and it's just a really it's important. So
yeah, it's important. And here's the thing, Eric, and it's part of the reason why I think it's supposed to be Movember instead of Movember, and it's also subsequently one of the things that really helped gain my trust with regards to this specific organization. They're all like, all right, donate any amount of money that you want, or don't donate anything. Just pledge to exercise. Get out there and move. So if you don't have any money, you can get on the website and say, well, I'm going to walk a half a mile every day, or like 5 miles a week or whatever. And then you go on there and you post it as you fulfill your pledge. So yeah, again, super cool. It's them showing that they really are all about the cause that they're claiming to be about. And again, it's Movember, right?
Yeah, it is. I guess it makes sense. Movember now, it makes sense. We need to get out there, get moving, get active, right?
I think it sounds awesome, man. I think it's a great thing, and I love that. A charity not asking for money. What the hell does that work? That's awesome.
I know, dude. I was thinking about the same thing, working from some of the favorite charities of the world, and what they would tell if you say, hey, I don't have any money, but I'll walk a mile a day. They'd be like, I don't give a fuck what you do, dude, and they'd hang up on you.
Oh, I got a better one, man. What if the breast cancer awareness was like, you don't have to donate or anything. Just check a few breasts today and make sure there's no lumps.
I'm a champion. I'm a champion for that one.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want to end
We're
up
super vigilant here. I'm telling you.
Be like, well, they said, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, thank you to Serial Killer out there for organizing this drive. We do have a team, the Game Cats. It is linked in the description below if you'd like to join the team. please just click the link. And again, you don't even have to donate anything to join the team. You can just join, and then you can pledge whatever you want. Do it your own way. It's all about raising awareness, just as much about raising money. So again, super cool cause, and thank you to Serial Killer.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, and it's Serial Killer with a C.
Yes.
Right.
He loves
Serial
cereal.
Who doesn't love cereal?
Like Toucan, Son of Sam.
Yeah, that looks nice. Who doesn't love cereal?
Well, it depends on the cereal. I'm not a big fan of milk these days. So you try to add water, it's just not the same.
So are you guys like a cereal fan where you get like the big bowl with the big mambo spoon, or are you like a little bowl with a little spoon, or dry? Some people eat this fucking thing dry. Who does that? I've seen people eat cereal with water. What the fuck is that?
Well, that's what I was saying, man. I'm not a big fan of milk, so like the other chance is water or like some kind of squeezed thing they call milk.
Nut milk.
Yeah,
I'm not drinking nut milk, bro.
Yeah, dude, you know who has no problem drinking nut milk?
My mom.
She squeezes it fresh.
She squeezes it fresh.
And that's something else you can do to celebrate Movember.
That's true. That's a big celebration.
But no, to answer your question, Eric, we don't do the big bowl. We do multiple small bowls because if you get the big bowl, it gets soggy, right?
That's true.
So we just do 2 or 3 small bowls and then we're good.
Yeah. Plus, you never know. That way you don't waste too. You don't want to put too much in there and then get halfway through and decide, I'm not that hungry. So, if you're still hungry, grab another bowl.
Somebody said Fruity Pebbles, man. That was probably my favorite cereal. I don't eat cereal anymore, but man, that was probably my favorite cereal growing up. Fruity Pebbles.
What's great?
Or I was a Raisin Bran fan too, man.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Kellogg's S'mores cereal, and you can't get it anymore. It's like
sugar in a bowl, man.
I know, it's great. It's so good.
That's most
big
cereal.
giant marshmallows. Love it.
Cheerios, sugar in a bowl. Oh, yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about getting old is you have to start eating Honey Nut Cheerios and shit.
Yeah, at least it's got a little honey flavor that kind of gives you a little zing, right?
I just pile sugar on top of it. Like there's a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. Here's about 5 tablespoons of sugar and about 3 ounces of milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you hate it when your mom brought out with the shredded wheat? Like, what? I didn't eat that shit. Give me some Fruit Loops, for God's sakes.
Yeah, they put the sugar on one side like it's going to help.
Just trying to fool you. Like you're always trying to eat it from the
Here's
the
the
one
thing.
side.
Here's the thing about frosted mini wheats, and Wes I can tell you, he doesn't like it because he said he doesn't have the big bowl because he doesn't like his cereal to get soggy.
Well, you're talking about the brick, right? The big brick.
Well, even the smaller ones, it really, at least for me, it's designed to be soggy-ish with the milk in the middle of it, and it just kind of it's good.
That's true.
So
if you're going to eat shredded wheat, you do have to have some patience and come back to it. It takes
that'll
a
rip
while
the
before...
shit out of your top of your mouth, right?
Yeah. It's like straw, like they went out into the fucking field and baled up some wheat and put it in the bowl. Here's a little sugar. That'll make it good.
Oh yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was another sugar in a bowl one too.
yeah,
That's a favorite one here. That's what my kids love is that Cinnamon Toast
well,
Crunch.
those are the ones, like you said, Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Those are the ones that make the milk really good at the end, right? Like at the end, it's like the milk is good, and you want to drink
like
it.
Drinking chocolate milk. Yeah.
Anyway, we got a lot to talk about here, and we shouldn't probably waste any more time on cereal. So let's say hello to our friends in chat. Alakazam once again is here. Thank you for the support, Alakazam, much appreciated. Chris9989 and Chatty are here. Michelle B, Paradise Decay sliding in. What's up, friend?
Paradise?
PD was actually in VR the other day playing some Among Us.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he's back. I knew that now that things are going back to normal, I can tell because like videos are starting to come out more clockwork, and I feel like the world is right again.
Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the glorious return of Paradise Decay.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, Mark Smith's here. Space Dennison is here. Vargo Soft. Anyone know how many Quest 1 sold? It wasn't many, man. That thing wasn't out for a year before they announced the sequel to it. So it wasn't a lot. I would say 1 million, maybe 2 million. Wolfraza is here, as is Tatum, Substatica, Old Darth, a cat nipping game cat. What up? Ryan Brannon, Dark Angel is in the house as well. Techno Glitch here too. Bricardi B, what up? Rogue TR's here. I see the light, said the Game Cat. Says you have to grow a stash. Yeah, that's one of the things that you can do too to support Movember is just grow a gnarly Tom Selleck mustache.
Nice.
I can't though. I mean, I could. I guess I can. It's already. You can't tell. Like, what do you? It just goes into this.
So you've already, your donation's done, man. You've done.
Oh, I did it.
You fulfilled your pledge. You did it. Four Wheeling. What up? Thomas McNostrils here too. Good to see you. Cupra AL. One per household. Correction. One per household per PSN account.
Ooh.
Read the fine print. That's what it says. And I've got 5 PSN accounts, and that's
Lord.
not even counting
and you still
my
didn't
kids.
get a freaking invite though. I mean, that
Yeah, I
just
know.
boggles my mind that you did it. You did it all early. You did it again when it just came out on 5 separate accounts. If you still don't have it,
He will.
I'm going to
Well,
corner these
and-
motherfuckers in Vegas,
God
Eric.
damn it.
And
I know,
I
right?
see them. They're going to have to answer for it.
And
Oh,
he's
yeah, we're gonna get in front row center roots, and we're gonna tell him.
well, and this is the big thing too. Should be the biggest thing. He's a co-host on the best PlayStation VR channel on YouTube. Like, what the fuck are they doing, man?
I'm the most prolific host in VR YouTube, damn it. I have 10 shows a week.
That's getting close.
Feels like it,
Yeah,
right?
well, we're getting there. You give me a month. Hawk 107 is here. Let's see. Who else? JS, we already said hello to. What's up, JS? App J? Or Ape? It's Ape, right, Roots?
I think it is Ape.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All your history said I didn't register interest and got an invite. Oh well,
It's the same thing with Brian Paul. Brian
What?
Paul got one too.
Derek's
What
like,
the
how the
bullshit is this?
f-
Crap,
They don't
man.
want Eric to have it, I think. And then since we let him on our show,
They're like, they're not getting it either.
Well, I
none
think-
of us are getting it.
I think
Wow,
they
I
feel
always
like
say
you
good
have
things
too
about
many.
PlayStation.
They're like, he's got too many headsets. He doesn't need it.
Oh man.
Gamertag VR, good to see you, friend. I think we're going to do Crewcast tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that right? Am I right about that?
I
We're
saw
gonna
that.
do
Yeah.
Crewcast tomorrow?
I think so. Yeah.
That was the rumor.
It's been a bit of a break.
Yeet. That's what I have to say.
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
what I heard. I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
yeet is what I saw.
Mickey Barrios is here. Good to see you, friend. Wild Hour. The Game Cat says, great seeing you guys. Hype and hope. We're going to get there. Next generation. Woo! Man, this is what I was thinking about earlier today, Eric, because that headset's going to be here in about 5 minutes. All these games to run us right up until Christmas. Then we're going to have 2022 show. Then CES. Then it's PSVR 2 time. It's going to be here in like 5 minutes.
It really is. I mean, this year is over. Pretty much. This year's over. I mean, between the games we got to play and traveling and doing with this and that, this year's done, man. Done. We'll be. It's gonna be here in no time. It's crazy, and you know it was just so quiet at the beginning of the year too, and just like they backloaded everything.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, it's unprecedented. They always backload the year, but it seems like especially heavy this year. And pump all the brakes that you want to. It's all in vain. It's not going to help. It's just getting faster and faster.
Yep.
Ludovico Moriale joining us once again. Good to see you again, friend. Mind Jive is here. Artful is here. VR Spry Guy. Eevee Man versus Gas. And Decepticon. Oh, yeah. What's up, Decepticon? Dan Kitty VR is here. Simplex is here. I didn't even know Simplex was here. What's up, Simplex? Radio Runt, of course. Good to see you. And I think, nope, there's Assassin 32 rounding out the top of the list. If I missed you, I apologize. Thank you for hanging out. Welcome, one and all. We have got some cool shit to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stranger Things VR game is coming late 2023 from Virtual Reality Studio. This from Scott Hayden at Road to VR. Tender Claws, the indie studio behind Virtual Reality and The Under Presents, announced it's working on a Stranger Things VR game. It's slated to arrive on major VR headsets late next year. Called Stranger Things VR, the horror action game was created in collaboration with Netflix and the series writers and lets you immerse yourself in one of the major twists from last season. Spoiler alert, by the way. There's a spoiler you should definitely avoid in the next 2 paragraphs below in case you haven't seen the latest season. Mute now because I'm about to continue reading. And if you don't want the series to be spoiled in a very minor way, then now's the time to mute. I'll give you a thumbs up when we're through it. Spoiler, the game's narrative is based on Henry Crill's transformation into the villain Vecna and his quest to seek revenge on Eleven. Here's how Tenderclaws describes it. Stranger Things VR will allow fans to experience the world of Stranger Things from the never-before-seen perspective of Vecna as he explores unknown realities, forms the hive mind, and enacts his plan for revenge against Eleven and Hawkins. Players will invade the dreams and memories of a fan-favorite characters and harness telekinetic powers to battle humans and creatures alike, as Henry Crill's transformation into Vecna and his influence on the events of prior seasons is revealed. So, so I'll just say this. As someone who has not watched Stranger Things since like sometime in season 2, I have no idea what the fuck that's even talking about. They call that a spoiler. I don't even know what the hell any of that shit means. You guys know what they're talking about? I
do not either. I tuned out just about the same time you did when it actually stopped being good. So I don't know. That people love the show. So I mean, my thing is maybe we're missing out on something, Wes.
Oh, my family loves it. Like my Isabel, this is her shit. She binges like TV shows on the regular now just because she did Stranger Things and she loves it so much. So yeah, my wife loves it, daughter loves it. What about you, Eric? Anybody in your household digging the Stranger Things?
Yeah, I mean, me and my wife, we watched the first full 2 seasons multiple times actually. I watched it once by myself and then I got her into it and she was hooked. So I watched it again with her. We watched second season full and I think we were like, I want to say we're like 3 or 4 episodes into the 3rd season, and it just fell off. I don't know why. It wasn't that it wasn't good. We just fell out of it. Things got busy, and I don't watch any TV anymore, so it's just unfortunate. But it sounds interesting. I don't know. Do you always? The problem is with these things is when they change these things and they try and change how they work. You're like, I don't know, man. Like people. It's like having a Transformers game and not being a Transformer. Are people going to want to play as the villain in this game?
You gotta kill 11, man.
I mean, I'm for that for sure.
By the way, 11's like 21, so it's kind of weird. But
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, no, I think it looks cool, man. I like what they're saying. Horror action game. I like them talking about the hive mind. I'm digging all of that. I like the retro feel of the series. That's going to be super cool. There's a lot to like here, but I think the most exciting aspect of all of this is that, let's be honest, we've got Netflix here producing a VR game for one of the most popular television series in the world right now. This is a headset seller, is it not?
Yeah, could be if it's really good. I mean, Under Presents was really good. It was a little bizarre, but I think it was a little bit ahead of its time. I think if they could do something really cool with Stranger Things in whatever fashion it is, it could be cool.
Paradise Decay getting busy already says, you know who else likes to binge on shit?
My mom!
And Looper the Underground Game Cat says they totally stole our logo with the Stranger Things with the $2, I guess a £2, is that a pound? Donation. And yeah, I was thinking that too, those bastards. That we should probably sue Stranger Things. Although we've kind of changed it, right?
How dare you?
Shit, my lights are going out all around me here, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Stranger Things.
Yeah,
strange, right?
It is Stranger, dude. That's
they're talking to me.
Stranger
Is that
danger.
you, honey? No, it's interesting, man. Ludovico Moriali says games based on shows and movies are always a risk. Will it be a money grab or some quality gameplay? Well, that's the cool thing about this. A lot of the times, like for example, Transformers, a lot of the times they commission new studios with zero virtual reality experience to make these games. Not the case here. Tender Claws is a very talented VR studio with multiple banger titles under their belt. So I'm pretty confident that, while it might not be the longest game in the world, I think what we're going to get here is going to be pretty quality.
Yeah.
Interesting choice though, right? With Tender Claws though, I mean, there's other studios. I would have went to maybe Fun Train or Bloober Team. I mean, there's other studios I could think to go here besides Tender Claws. Tender Claws is they're a good developer, but they're out there a little bit on their stuff, right? I mean, Virtual Reality 2 was probably one of the worst games I've ever played, but I did love Thunder Presents.
It wasn't that bad now. Come on. It wasn't that bad.
I hate
I didn't
Virtual
like it
Reality
either.
2. It was
I
terrible.
like the first one.
Yeah, the first one was okay, but this one I just did not like at all.
But I didn't
it's just
give
an
it a
interesting
chance.
choice. This is a big franchise that you're throwing to a okay developer.
Depends on what they're wanting to do. What if they want to do something like Under Presents, where they've got live actors in there, which I doubt. But how cool
That
would
would
that
be
be?
amazing. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, that
good.
would be cool.
They got Millie Bobby Brown as 11.
Yeah,
You
there
get
you
to go
go.
chase her down and kill her.
I mean, Wes, do you think this is a good studio to put this? I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying it
I
seems
do.
weird,
I do.
right? I mean, you wouldn't rather see this in the hands of Fast Travel or In Dreams or.
Well, I mean,
Even
In
Bloober
Dreams is
Team.
doing Ghostbusters. Fast Travel's doing like 1,000 fucking things. You're talking about Bloober Team, who's doing Silent Hill and Layers of Fear right now. And who else did you mention? There was another one that was, again, just as busy and bogged down as. And plus, these are bigger studios you're
Train.
talking about. Fun Train doing The Exorcist, doing the Twilight Zone. Fun Train would probably be pretty cost effective. I got to imagine getting Bloober Team or one of these big studios involved like that is a pretty expensive endeavor. And when you're talking about selling a VR game, there's a limited amount of money to go around at the end of the day. I do. I think Tender Claws is a good choice here because of what they're trying to do. They're putting you in the upside down, this kind of surreal realm where nothing is what it seems and everything could flip on a dime. And you think about what Tender Claws has done. First of all, with the Under Presents, which is again a weird realm where you can find a portal under a rock and go into a completely different world. And then whether you like virtual reality 2 or you don't, there was certainly some high weirdness going on in that place as well. So I kind of feel like this is in Tender Claws' wheelhouse to do a game in the upside down.
Yeah, I agree. I think it very well could be. And so,
Yeah, I mean, teams have surprised us with this stuff before, right? I mean, they've come out and been great. I don't know. It's just
Just as long as it's not Doctor Who, man, that was a turd.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Somebody in the chat was asking if we think that Stranger Things is bigger than Doctor Who and we
I
of
don't
course
know.
we would
right
say
now, maybe.
well, and this is the thing. A lot of people in the States would say yes, and people in the UK would say absolutely not, because Doctor Who's not really a big thing here for most people, right?
Doctor Who's been around my whole life, and I feel like it has a very passionate fan base of people who've been watching it. I feel like Stranger Things, maybe not on pure numbers, would have an edge on Doctor Who, but what it does have a lot more of is mainstream appeal.
Yeah, and it's current. I mean, it's what I mean. It's the current thing going on.
Well, we all know that if something's not new, then it's just bad, right?
It's garbage.
Only
Yeah,
things
out
that
with
are
the
good
old. We got
are
to
new
trash
things.
everything. Everything that's old,
Yeah.
get rid of it.
All you are is history. Peaky Blinders could be promising in VR. A game like it is very much missing. Godfather in VR would be great, but it's unlikely to happen. Yeah, we did Peaky Blinders last week, and I'm really surprised at just how good that promo footage looks. I mean, they let GT and a couple other people play a demo, and it looks really good. And it's Quest footage from what I understand too, which was really impressive.
Yeah.
Old Darth the Catnipping Game Cat says the Twilight Zone game was meh? ? I thought it was all right, man. 3 stories, all of them very much feel like Twilight Zone stories. You have to keep in mind that while it is technically a game, it's just as much about the experience and the storytelling as it is the gameplay. The gameplay, if you're going in for like super immersive and fun gameplay, you're probably not going to like it. But if you want to be in some Twilight Zone stories, it does a very effective job at that. And one episode is better than the last. So episode 1's pretty good. Episode 2's a bit better than 1. 3 is by far the best. I recommend it for what that's worth. But again, just go in with realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Three you can almost make a game out of. It was that good. Like if you made a full-blown story around it with the gunplay, with the freaky psychedelic, sci-fi thing.
No,
it was cool.
I like the part in the house before you even get out there.
Yeah.
Well, what about the first one where you're hiding under desks and stuff? Oh wait, no, that's actually we've seen that a million times in VR.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that Stranger Things is a good thing. I'm pretty excited for it. It makes me. It's like Westworld now, Roots. We're gonna have to go back and watch the episodes so that we can play the game.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Especially if they just ruined it. I don't even know. I forget what you said, but
community event, virtual strangers. We all get in the big screen. We stream seasons. What did you guys stop at 2? We stream
go through
2 and 3, 2, 3, and 4.
Good. Well, let me ask you this.
Start all over again. That's what I normally do. I just watch them all.
I didn't pay attention, Wes. Did you ever give the thumbs up for the spoiler?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Son of a show, we're good. It's like we're like still waiting. They're like, God damn,
like,
man.
Fuck, are they ever
they're
gonna
long.
stop talking about it? Anyway, be on the lookout for this late 2023 Quest 3 game. Eric, you think?
Jeez, that's a good point, Wes, because it says it's very ambiguous in the headsets that it says, but I mean, people are guessing, very, very possibly could be if it comes
Pico
in
4,
2023.
Quest 3, PSVR 2. I mean, if this game is on a headset, it probably has a number in front of it. We'll just say that.
For sure.
Anyway, glad to finally get through that one. It's actually a little bit of an older piece of news. I just wanted to make sure we highlight, but this next story can very much fall into that same category, something from a couple weeks ago that we never really gave our 2 cents on. So let's check that out.
Half a league. Half a league. Half a league onward. All in the Valley of Death. Road the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Charge for the guns, he said. Into the Valley of Death. Road the 600.
The Light Brigade is a tactical roguelike shooter coming to Quest 2, PSVR, PSVR 2, and PC in Q1 2023. This from worthplaying.com. The Light Brigade is a single-player roguelike experience filled with immersive gunplay, immersive light magic, and moody mystery. The world remains in eternal darkness, and only you can bring the dawn. Enlist in the ranks of the Light Brigade, humanity's last line of defense, and journey through procedurally generated battlegrounds as many times as it takes to free the souls of the fallen trapped within. Strategically take down relentless enemies with immersive, physics-based gunplay in this atmospheric roguelike shooter. Unlock new weapons, spells, and classes in your attempt to restore light to the world. The game features tactical roguelike okay, I'm reading like there's not a dash in the thing there. Key features: Tactical roguelike. Strategically take down increasingly difficult enemies as many times as it takes. Immersive gunplay. Realistic physics-based gunplay and magic in VR. Infinite battlegrounds. Procedurally generated diverse biomes that make each run unique. Ascend the ranks. Gain access to better weapons and spells, unlock new classes and playstyles. Uncover the mysteries. Piece together the mystery behind humanity's downfall as you fight to save it. Again, the Light Brigade is coming to MetaQuest 2, PSVR 2, PSVR, and Steam in Q1 2023. So, in last week's PlayStation VR 2 hysteria, while everybody was in the process of shitting on the price and shitting on the games that they announced, I feel like the Light Brigade kind of got lost in the mix because, sure, this is a cross-plat coming to current-gen VR systems, and when you look at it, you can very much tell this is a modern-gen game. It's not a next-gen game. But Eric, with that said, I think that this is a really cool concept for a game and pretty unique compared to the other titles in the VR catalog right now.
Yeah, especially the PSVR catalog, because I don't think there's a game that's either been announced or it's out there that's kind of quite like this game. Now, we have maybe a couple of them that are sort of like this in some of the other catalogs.
Returnal? Returnal's kind of like this.
Yeah. But just like the style of shooter magic kind of deal. Yeah, I think it's super cool, man. And people are kind of like crapping this game, and I don't get it. This whole gives me an amazing vibe. The whole story, the look of this game, it's super cool, man. I look at everything, but again, I'm a huge roguelike fan, so this sets off all the bells for me.
Roots, I think this game kind of looks, you check out the art style, it kind of looks like that Now, The Lost Eye. Remember that game we played last year, or the year before? It was similar to this in like this weird fantasy realm. But inside the headset, that game didn't look too bad, did it?
No, it didn't look that bad, and this one doesn't look that bad. My thing is, I guess where everybody's trepidation, and mine would be the same, is I just don't. I don't know much about it outside of this little clip. I don't know what the depth of the gameplay, because I love roguelike games, but they've got to be fun. This one's going to be around shooting, so it should be the diverse, different things that environments is really cool. Every run should be unique. I hope it's cool. It looks like, again, it looks like all the other games that we've been playing these last couple of years in a general, outside of, if the gameplay doesn't turn out to be special, it could be an average game, just like everything else. And I think that's what everybody was looking for, the next gen games, the ones that are just like going to knock your socks off. And then you see this one that looks like it could be really good, or somebody was saying in the chat, Awesome Tatum, it's confusing. It looks like, you know what I mean? It looks like it could be really good, but it looks like it could not be good to me anyway. So
Eric, I feel like a lot of people, I feel like this game would have probably been a little bit more well accepted if it weren't in a PSVR 2 reveal from Sony. Like, I think a lot of people are skeptical of this game based on the fact that it's not like super photo real, right? It's a very, they take a lot of liberties with the artistic style here, and it's not the highest like texture details and things like that. Am I off base?
Yeah, I don't know what footage this was though, because I don't think they ever said, right? So I know they showed it as PSVR 2 in that release, but it doesn't really say exactly what this footage is. This could be Quest 2 footage we're looking at, unless I was wrong and they showed it somewhere. But when I watched the video, I didn't see anything that said, recorded on whatever footage this was. So I don't know where it was from. Either way, it looks really good to me. But you know the deal, Wes. If they said Meta, this is Meta, and then all of a sudden PSVR announced it, it'd be like, there's another shitty Quest port coming to the PlayStation VR 2.
I think that's the narrative here. I think because they announced it with like Tentacular and right. Jurassic World and all this other shit, that like people are kind of short selling it. I for one think that sure, there's a lot of the same stuff if you look at it on a very basic level. Like, okay, so there's a shooting and there's spell casting and it's a roguelike. God, we don't have enough roguelikes already. I guess if you look at it like that, then yeah, maybe it's repetitive.
You kind of have to look at it like that in the respect of we don't know. Like that's the downside. That's the potential. That is a potential future. We could get in there and it could be like that. Or it could be everything that you and Eric just said and be fucking amazing. We just don't know. There was nothing that showed me anything outside of just some shooting, gameplay wise, right? Didn't show me the skill tree or anything. I'm just thinking the depth wise, it could be really, really good. I like the concept. It's just I don't know. Like it's just
yeah. And I understand that, but when I see this, I see a game that's trying to seamlessly meld spellcasting and gunplay together, and we don't have a lot of stuff like that yet. Like Hellsweeper, but Hellsweeper's not out. And then I see so many other telltale signs that remind me of another game that I'm a pretty big fan of. And even down to like the kind of mood that they set with the biomes that they're dropping into. It has a very dark feeling to it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this game's going to be Returnal. It's not going to be Returnal. But I see a lot here that I like from other games. And I'm just not ready to write it off yet, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it could be really good. I think it'd be cool.
We have a rendered reality sighting. What's up, friends? Good to see you.
Yeah, what's up, Sean? I agree with you, Wes, though. I mean, I think it got looped into a weird category because it was shown with some of the ports that we are not looking forward to. And I think I think if it was shown in a different light, I think people would be more into it. And I don't know. I thought the trailer was pretty cool. I mean, again, not every game is going to be photorealistic. It's okay to have different environments. We've been playing one the last few days that we played last night, Wes, that is not photorealistic, but it's still one of the most gorgeous games that I've played, and it's one of the only games I want to play right now. So just because a game doesn't look photorealistic,
show's over. Show's over. Let's go play, Eric. Let's go.
I would do it right now. I really would. I'd do it right now for sure. But I mean, every game doesn't have to look like Skyrim for me to have fun in it. It doesn't have to be like the biggest cinematic experience. Give me great gunplay. Give me, like Root said, give me some progression. Give me a good roguelike experience to where I am working towards something and having great fun at doing these runs, and I'll love it. It'll be great. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. We finally made it through that stage, Roots. We got past it. We unlocked some stuff and found some other things.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Oh, new weapon. Yeah, a couple new weapons.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. They're good at hiding stuff, aren't they, Eric?
This game I thought was going to be just a pure no nonsensical shooter, and it's almost half platformer, half like search and find and looter, and it's pretty cool, man.
But we're not allowed to say that, so
I
want to. Okay. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on Light Brigade. I think it's unfortunate that they're waiting till, if this is true, and they're waiting till quarter 1/23 to launch it. Like, what's the point of launching this on PSVR 1 if you're going to launch it after PSVR 2 gets here? Nobody's going to play it there. I really wish this game was coming to like Steam and PSVR 1 and even Quest 2 this year. And then if they want to bring it into PSVR 2 later, that would be better in my opinion. Also like to think, Eric, that the PSVR 2 games announcement would have went over a little bit better last week had they cut all that extra bullshit out. Like, we don't need to know about Tentacular. They could have told us about Pistol Whip upgrade in like a Twitter feed. We didn't need that. If it had just been the Crossfire title, Switchback VR, just all the new stuff, then I think it would have went over a little bit better. Less is more in this case.
I agree. You don't have to do a huge freaking, showcase every time you announce the title. Put some of those other ones out there and blog posts or whatever, especially Tentacular and Cosmonius High. Shit
Those
like
are
that.
games that you slide in there and don't let anybody know and just hope that you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's filler. It's library filler. You have to have those games. I get it. It's just you don't need to
Don't
go out there and
champion
like.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I'm sure the people that created those games are like, "Fuck you guys! Scream our game
dare you."
as loud as you can."
We're sorry, Tam2. We're sorry.
Yeah, that's true. After the fall is amazing.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to checking out the Light Brigade. I hope it shows up sooner rather than later, because let's be honest, if this comes out in late February, early March, I'm going to be playing Rush of Blood 2, yo. I'm not going to even fuck with this game.
That's what Awesome
Rush
Tatum. I was going to
Switchback,
ask you,
baby.
Switchback. Are you going to play it? You think it'd be any good?
Man,
Oh no, man, it looks all right.
No move controllers. I think I'm out.
what? I'm out.
Me too. Fuck
Hey
that
Wes,
shit.
so Rendered Reality says, Wes and Eric, are you guys planning to go to CES, right? We are thinking about going, even though it's really close to my wife's due date. Well, number one,
Ooh.
congratulations on your wife having
Yeah.
a baby, Sean.
That's awesome.
And
That's
number
awesome.
two, you should definitely just go anyway and come and join us at CES.
You can have your baby in Vegas.
Yeah,
doesn't
take her
wanna do
along. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Here's the thing, though. I think if you have a baby in Vegas, that it has to live there forever, right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
But yes, we're going to go to CES this year. If you'd like to hang out with us, we would very much like to hang out with you. And yeah, you can bring your wife along. We're bringing ours, so
Yeah, for sure. And Bradley will be there too. Bradley stopped over to our show the other night to say hi and talk about Pimax, and he said that he definitely will be there and he'll see us in Vegas.
Did you
How
time
about Brad?
that? He just literally, as you said that, he literally typed in the chat as you said his name. Did you time that, Mash?
I did. I saw.
That's great.
well, I was about to say, man, Brad's timing. It's like he has a spider sense and knows when we're getting ready to talk about hardware, and then boom, there's Brad right in the chat. So yeah, you heard me right, folks. Let's talk a little hardware. Pimax announces a Nintendo Switch clone with VR support. This from mixednews.com. We know the prices and different models for Pimax Portal and Portal View. The handheld console is offered in 3 variants. Portal 128 gig costs $299. Features a 4K LC display. What am I missing? It must be LCD. A 4K LCD display and 128 gigabytes of storage. The 256 gigabyte version, everything's the same, a little more storage, $100 more, $399. Portal QLED, 256 gigabytes of storage, $549. Again, features a 4K QLED display. The headset case, different variants for that as well. Portal View cost $449, and Portal QLED View costs $599 respectively, with 2 batteries, 4,600 milliamp hours. Pre-orders in the accompanying Kickstarter campaign will start on November 15th at 2 p.m. I guess, what is that, BST?
8 Eastern. Early.
China time. 2 p.m. China time, I think. Anyway, I'm not going to read through all this stuff. Technical specs, you guys can check out the article if you're interested in what this thing supposedly is going to have under the hood. I really wanted to talk more about this concept here because, you know, we've maligned Pimax for straight up copying everything that they've seen in the VR space before. And I feel like they're being a little bit forward thinking here. Sure, this looks a lot like a Switch, but when I've thought to myself in the past, what I envision like Nintendo's VR, when Nintendo does VR, what's it going to be like? I thought that it was possibly going to look like this, like a Switch that slots into a headset and a lot of games built around that. And it seems like, Eric, that Pimax is being a little bit forward thinking here and ripping off Nintendo before Nintendo even does it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue with this because everything here looks fantastic. Like everything, like I've said before, everything they put out there, I was like, yep, checks the box for me. I want that. I want that. That's a great idea. I'll take that. The biggest problem is fucking Pimax. If this was Nintendo that came out and gave out all this information, we would be all on. Everybody would be screaming Nintendo right now, saying, "Yes, this is what we want." If this was Valve and this was the Deckard that you're now turning into a VR headset, people would be freaking out right now. But it's Pimax, and that's the biggest problem. And then you back it up with, "Oh yeah, and it's going to be a Kickstarter." That's what makes people nervous, man.
Roots, you know, if this had been Valve or Nintendo, I would have read through the specs. Like, there's a reason I didn't finish the article there. It's because we've seen this before, haven't we? They're going to promise us everything that's possible. And, yeah, you can pre-order now.
Kickstarter. Are you going to do it, Eric? No, just kidding. You know what's crazy is, I was just thinking this thought, and it's probably not. There's probably not a possibility, but I guess it's possible. You think there's somebody out there right now from Nintendo that's saying, "Oh fuck, somehow they hacked, they got our specs. This is what Nintendo's planning to do because this doesn't fit Pimax's MO. They don't create their own shit; they copy stuff. So this makes me think that this might be coming or maybe be out there. That's of course the Nintendo fan in there because my first thought is I don't know how they're going to make this work. Like even the controllers. You know, Nintendo's perfected their controllers and the way that they work and everything, right? I could see them sliding into a thing. And like you said, I didn't even really think of it from that perspective. If this was Nintendo, I'd be freaking out because I know it's going to be good. And I know that I'm actually going to see it in production. Like Mash was saying during the between the things, we don't even know if this thing's ever going to make it to production. Like how many other headsets that Pimax is still not delivered from how many other Kickstarters? It's just
no. I'm sorry. I thought you were
just saying. No, I'm just. It's too sketch. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing here, and I think you're kind of beating around the bush to what really the bottom line is here. You know, let's forget about a moment that this is Pimax, and we know about Pimax what we already know about Pimax and the way they like to deliver things. the product on its own merits looks cool. It looks like hardware that has a lot of potential. Like a lot of potential. There's a lot of new concepts here that we haven't seen since Nintendo Labo. But I think the bottom line with a device like this is going to be what kind of software is on it. Eric, like, you've got this nice standalone handheld flat gaming device that you can slot into a headset. But this is a very specialized and unique piece of equipment that's going to need games that are developed specifically for this device. Do you think Pimax has that kind of support lined up with the various VR studios around the world?
I mean, they're going to have some, you know what I mean? But they're not, most likely it's not going to be the bigger studios. It's going to be your mid to lower studios. And why? Because these studios want to make money, and the more platforms they're on, the better. The problem with it right now is they're announcing like, yeah, this team is on board, this team is on board. They don't have any headsets. There's no dev kits out there. So even though they're like, oh yeah, well this company's on board, and you have, you know, this company saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna do that, or
listen, man,
you know, our game is coming.
They'll get their headsets as soon as they back the Kickstarter, bro.
That's what it is. The devs got to back Kickstarters just so they can get their dev kits.
At least they'll get their headsets.
Yeah. But I mean, they'll have some. They will, because Pimax is, again, everybody wants to be on the platform, and they are coming with their standalone, and they are, I can tell you this for a fact, they have signed games for their standalone already. Okay, so I know that they have. I know for a fact that they paid money and they have games for standalone, but those are far from being ready. And this is a whole different thing. This is not standalone. This is like, number one, it's a mobile gaming handheld that you can put into a VR headset. You're going to have to specifically design directly for that, I would assume. I mean, you're going to be able to play Steam on it, but I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly the software limitations and issues for doing what they want to do. So this is a crapshoot, Wes. I mean, I don't know what they're going to put on this thing.
Roots on the cutting room floor, I put an article in there that the headline reads something like, China plans to ship 25 million VR headsets over the next few years. How many of those headsets do you think are projected Pimax headsets that will probably ship by 2030 instead of 2025?
I don't know, man. That's exactly what somebody in the chat was saying. You know, I think Paradise Escape, they'll get it in 10 years when the tech's out of date. Maybe not 10 years, but 5 years. I just want to know how many headsets are still out there. You know, yeah.
I want that 12K headset, man. What happened to that?
Oh no, it's coming, Wes. It's coming.
Well,
it's coming.
Well, that's what I'm saying about Pimax, and I've said this a while. They have like huge ambitions, but you know, somebody's saying that I think the Crystal was achievable from Slim Racing Junkie. We're now talking about that in the past, and that was it's coming. So, and I'm not saying it's not going to come, but this is what they do. They get the Kickstarter, they get the money, they start doing what they're doing, and then all of a sudden something else is coming out, they're kickstarting, and then everything starts falling behind. I don't know. That's crazy.
It seems like they sell you a product and then they take your money and start building the next product instead of building the one for you that they promised. That's what it seems like. Now, obviously, a lot of our problems with Pimax is in how they market and how they sell themselves. But to a consumer who has sit and been, I mean, I used to be very enthusiastic about Pimax. You can scroll back through our episodes and see me defending Pimax because I want wider field of view, and that was kind of what they built their company on. But when you see it time after time, generation after generation, Pimax selling you the next thing before the last generation that funded them get their products, then it inspires no confidence. And to be quite frank, it makes Pimax kind of into a meme, right? Well, I basically just put this in today's lineup so that we could have a nice laugh before we started talking about some more games.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love Pimax. I mean, still one of the headsets that I use the most is the AKX when I'm looking for the highest fidelity and when I want to put on something that's fantastic. Now I'm using it a lot less now that I have the Quest Pro, but I mean, I love that headset, but they're basically abandoning that headset now. So they're not even making any more AKXs. So when they run out of whatever they have, that's it. AKX is over. So they are putting all their eggs in the 12K basket, but the problem is we don't know when that's going to come. And then they were all everything was the standalone crystal. Everything was standalone crystal. Here it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And now it's here. It's supposed to come. And what did they give us? Not a standalone crystal. They're giving us a PCVR crystal. Why? Because they can't get the standalone to work. I've seen all their files.
That could be a problem. I'm no expert, but that could be a problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem. I've seen their files. I've seen their statements and showing what is working, what is not working. And most everything on the Pimax Crystal standalone was all red check marked. There was like 2 green check marks. I mean, some of the red check marks were serious things. One of them was battery life. Why? Because the battery would not recharge. It was a one-time, one-shot use. So basically, you use the headset one time, and once the battery drained, you couldn't recharge it. That's a major issue. That's a disposable headset that costs $1,500.
That's not that bad though for a battery that lasts 1,000 hours. It is 1,000-hour battery, right?
That's something else. When I'm looking through this new product, this portal, they're advertising 2 batteries. So you have a huge 6,000 milliamp hour battery and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. That's going to be super comfortable, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, that was another thing too. I mean, there was stuff like, they're ready to launch this thing. There was issues with the head strap. The head strap wouldn't stay up, or it was like, flimsy, or it was breaking, or the hinge system was bad. I mean, this was we were supposed to have our hands on it now. You know what I mean? And basically, what did they do? They had to pivot to basically make and say, yes, Crystal, yep, PCVR headset, you can have it now, because that's the only thing it'll do. The only thing you do is hook it up to a computer. So, I mean, will we get the Crystal? Yeah, I think we will. Will we get a 12K? Maybe sometime. But here's the thing. Would you have felt better? I would have felt better if they come out and said, look, we're abandoning the Crystal. It's not going to work. We're going to abandon the 12K. We can't get it to work. We have decided to go in this direction. We are going to back this portal system 100%. And that's what we're going to do. That's our future. I would have felt better. What about you guys?
I would have felt better if they would have said that 6 months after the developers have got their dev kits and they've got some stuff to show us. I don't want to see concepts from them anymore. I don't trust them until they show me working products. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now with Pimax.
At what point does it become a Ponzi scheme? Like as they're pushing things down the road and they're taking more and more money from people. We've seen people go to prison for this. And I'm not saying Pimax is doing things illegal, but from, like Wes said, I'll put myself from a consumer's hat on. It sure fucking looks like it. It sure looks like something weird is happening. I'm glad I didn't invest any money in it. But I don't know. It's just crazy.
Brad said this. Brad said this on my show on Thursday. He came on for a little bit and he said he thinks that this is an exit strategy for Pimax. He thinks this is Pimax. When companies want to do a Kickstarter, a lot of times they do it to put value on the company, so they'll get bought out, and then they can just go away and then never fulfill the Kickstarter.
Well, there you go. Anybody in the market for a good Ponzi scheme?
Yeah. Anybody want to get a handheld?
I bet Pimax sells shares of their company that when they do their IPO. I bet they do it on Kickstarter.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Anyway, very interested in this concept. I for what it's worth, I hope that it works out. I hope it's perfect when it launches, and I hope it has a wide variety of software.
Crossing fingers.
I believe it when I see it.
Yeah, same here. I want it to be good.
I see friends in chat. I see Sim Racing Junkie. I see Guido. Bluebell says that Pimax is sus.
Yeah,
I think
super
I agree with
sus.
Anyway, that's enough hardware talk. We'll be on Crewcast tomorrow. Hopefully, Brad will be in there with us, and we can go a little deeper up Pimax's ass with with our analysis. But let's get back to some games.
Ass.
What was that?
Who doesn't want to go up Pimax's ass?
Yeah. Sure. I thought I almost missed a my mom joke.
We almost missed an opportunity to tell one. But anyway, let's get back to doing what we do best. Let's talk some more gaming news.
Over and over, I relive my first moments on this alien planet. The crash. The attack. My death. The crash. The attack. My death. Trapped in this endless cycle. Even death is no escape. Each time I awake, this planet seems somehow different. As if changing. This world is becoming part of me. Infecting my mind. My memories. The longer I spend here, the more I can feel my sanity slip away. But I cannot lose hope. My only choice is to keep fighting. To keep looking for answers. My only hope is to break the cycle. Before the cycle breaks me.
Steam database seemingly confirms Returnal PC. This from Video Games Chronicle. Following months of speculation, a PC port of PlayStation's PS5 console exclusive Returnal has been all but confirmed after a Steam database entry was updated to reference the game. The Steam listing for codename Oregon first appeared earlier this year and was strongly suspected to be related to the Housemarque roguelike due to its localization strings, which appeared to reference locations from the game. Now, an update made to the database entry on Tuesday has seemingly put to rest any doubt that the listing in question is related to Returnal. As seen below, the entry's change list shows Returnal being added to the title's Save Games directory before being edited out hours later. Beyond the Steam listing, there was already a fair amount of evidence to suggest the PS5 exclusive is coming to PC. A video showing off the settings menu for a PC version of Returnal seemingly leaked online in September before being removed due to a copyright claim from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Before that, Video Games Chronicle was provided footage appearing to show Returnal running on a PC. And last year, a PC port of Returnal was included in the huge leak of unannounced games on NVIDIA's GeForce Now streaming service. Many other games leaked on the list have since been released, including the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy remasters and the PC version of God of War. Another Sony game mentioned on the list, a PC version of Sackboy: A Big Adventure, also appeared in the Steam backend last year and was eventually released this October. Guys, Returnal is coming to PC, and it's coming soon. That's the whole story here. That's all I wanted to say. I can't wait to play this in my headset in full 3D. It's going to be amazing all over again.
I know. I can't wait to play it multiplayer or co-op. Right? It'll be amazing. Although
Yeah, I still haven't done the co-op. I still haven't done the co-op at all.
we need to do it. I think I think we should do a stream for it because I think if anybody could make it work, it would be Wes. Because when we tried it, me and Eric, and then me and Dean, we got our asses kicked.
You just have to have a different mindset with the multiplayer. You have, because you're not by yourself and you're having to share some things, and you have
Limited
to
resources.
you have more limited resources, and you have to go about it differently. But my question with this, guys, we love this game. Like, we all of us love this game. Are we gonna love it in VR? Like, I'm worried that it won't translate. I mean, I think it's going to, but I just have a little bit of a worry that we love it so much flat that if it's not Returnal flat and we get a little bit different play, we're not going to like it. And
Well, it depends. Okay, so Risk of Rain 2 is an amazing game, and it's a very similar type of gameplay, and I love it in VR. I really don't like it flat.
no, I mean,
Returnal's so much better of a game, I would imagine. And I was going to ask you guys this question because, I know that we'll have different answers, but if you could have somebody like, say, Prey Dog do it with hand presence and everything, or you could have Luke Ross do it, or say Prey Dog level, but Luke Ross with just the same controller, would you prefer? I mean, because I would rather play it the way that I know, but I know a lot of people are going to say they would want the hand presence.
I want both. I want to be able to play the original game in third person and be immersed in this world, and I want an official Returnal VR game that perhaps does tweak the gameplay a little bit, but puts you in the first person perspective. Mainly, I want to be immersed in this world. These alien worlds are what makes this game or one of the things that make this game so awesome. This is a very harsh environment. Everything's trying to kill you. The very air is sucking the life out of you. And it's just so immersive on my flat panel. That's the thing. This game completely immersed me through a flat screen. And if it's doing that, then I could only imagine what true 3D, and then even, beyond that, a full VR version would be. Just to be in the world would be a big plus for me.
Yeah, I changed my mind as I was reading the comments, and I really started thinking. I mean, I would love the schematics or playing with the controller the way it is, because it's amazing. But Risk of Rain 2, like,
really good.
It's so good with hand presence. Like, they pulled it off, and so I think they could do it, especially if Sony does it. I mean, if they do a legit VR 2 version, I think they have to do it, but keep it third person. But how do you do that? Oh, those games. Remember, what was that one game where you controlled the little guy, did the same thing, right? We played the game. It was a little figure guy, right? And if you swung your
Holoception.
Oh
yeah, so you could do something a little weird, but
That'd be
Returnal,
weird.
that would be weird.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
Uh,
You're talking about the co-op version. You have to share things, and I'm not sharing my parasites with anyone. Although who loves sharing her parasites with people.
My mom!
so Wes just described the scenario of what that run is going to be like. You're running for those fucking things. Trying to grab shit quick, because Wes
is all
he's
there.
going to be like Jim Hall with ammo in Fortnite. He's going to be grabbing it all.
Well, he can have the rock gland lobber, because I hate that freaking thing.
Yeah,
So,
well,
That's my
I'll
favorite.
that's Wes's favorite, and that's why
No, it would be perfect. That we'd be good for a run.
you have to learn how to love it, though, Eric. Because if you want to get as far as Wes did, you have to. There's places where you need that, right, Wes?
See, Wes would hate me though, because I take all the chances on like the
Don't do it.
they get in the parasites that give you the debuff.
Don't do it. The
Look, I'm always pushing. Wes would be so pissed at me. He'd be like, "What are you doing, man?"
It's not worth it.
You'd probably be pissed at me because I'm sitting here trying to fucking work out the pros and cons of whether or not I should pick shit up, and you're like, "Let's grab it, let's go."
I just want to shoot something. Let's go, Wes.
VR Sprite Guy says, "Jim, are you watching? Don't let Roots badmouth you like that. Jim's somewhere stealing ammo from somebody. He's not
He
watching
is.
this.
He's just he's probably playing with Sin is back right now.
I love Jim Hall. He's like, oh, Mash always goes off on his own. What does Jim do? The first thing he gets in, goes off on his own, leaves everybody behind.
Jim's the only one that's allowed to go off on their own
I
on
know.
Fortnite. Okay.
You're like, Jim, are you shooting somebody? Yeah. Where are you, bro?
I think everybody
What's up,
has this
TR?
idea of where they're
What's
going
up,
to
Rogue
go.
TR? What's up, Tom Flesh Eater Gaming? Good to see you all in the chat tonight.
And RoTR said that Risk of Rain 2 in VR is awesome, and it is.
It
man. I
is.
had so much
We need
fun
to go
playing
back
that
in
game.
there. That's
I
such a
would
good
do it in
game.
a heartbeat, dude. I love that game.
I
You can get
might
4
have
people in
had-
there.
I might have had some discussions recently about a opportunity for us to return to that.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
You gotta get it fixed. Last time it was like something was broken for me. Remember, I had the issues of getting into it, but we're
Fix
going
it.
back in. I'll fix it. I'll
Fix
figure
it, and I will start my stream with it on Friday.
out. Hell yeah, there we go.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk about Returnal. I wanted an excuse to talk about. I think it's coming soon. I think we might get it before the end of the year. It's very soon, and I can't wait. Hopefully, Luke Ross or Prey Dog or someone will put it into VR. But even if they don't, we're going to reshade it and play it on a screen. I just
First
can't wait
person,
to get
third
back
person?
into it.
Well, how do you want it?
I want it has to stay the
Both.
same,
I want
dude. How do you
both. I
play
want
it
Prey Dog
first,
style,
dude?
where you can do it both.
Yeah, I guess
think-
you could.
yeah.
It would be
I want
crazy.
it. I want it third, but it would be nice to see it at both, right, Roots?
Yeah, that's true. And options are good. And like we said, Risk of Rain 2 does it. So they could do it.
Yep, absolutely. Resident Evil 2 does it. You know, it's a third-person game modded into first person, but if you don't want to play it first person, you don't have to.
Yeah, but it's not as fast paced as
That's true.
Returnal.
You'll have to use. I didn't think initially that they could get away with all that movement in VR, but we played something recently. I don't even remember what it was. We played something recently with a similar dash system, and it worked very well, and it made me change my attitude on Returnal in first person.
Yeah.
I think what Roots has said though in the past though, is it would be hard. I think in first person, just because you can roll off every edge like in a heartbeat, right? Or into water or into lava. I mean, like
Plus-
that game. It's
And
like,
things are coming from directions that you wouldn't be able to see.
Right.
And it, like you kind of it's one of those games where you're dancing. There's a dance that you're doing literally the whole time. You're jumping around and moving, and I just don't know how you would do that in first person outside of reshaping the game.
It's a true 360-degree bullet hell, and you have to have that perspective to be able to dash through these waves of projectiles, because the dash isn't always just forward. You dash left and right, you dash backwards, and again, you have to be able to see what's behind you so you know where the gaps are to jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say still put it in there, and you call it hard mode.
there you go.
So when you've mastered the other mode, you're like, okay, now I can do. Because imagine if you could do it, you'd be a god. It'd be amazing.
Our show's over. We're gonna go play Returnal.
It's done.
Seriously,
It's over.
I would do it right now, man. I would. I love that game. I would, and I really am looking forward to doing the multiplayer. I don't think we gave it enough chance.
Yeah.
This is literally why I'm canceling the Virtual Stranger show for the rest of the year. I say it's because of preparation for 2022 show. I just want to go play games.
Yeah.
Seriously, my favorite time of the year.
Anyway, let's talk about games. Let's talk about Game of the Month. We didn't do Game of the Month last night, guys, or last month for October, guys. And as you know, very important that we never miss Game of the Month so that we have a full accounting of what came out when we talk about Game of the Year. The good news is there wasn't a whole lot that came out in October. Not really. Not stuff that we could nominate for the award.
Yep.
So let's get into it. We're going to just have a real brief conversation about what came out in October and what we feel like the games of the month were. We're not going to do a full-blown episode of it because there's not enough to really talk about. As always, we're going to start with PlayStation VR. What came out on PSVR in October? Nothing. Nothing came out on PSVR in October. So we move on to Oculus Quest. And with Quest, we had a few releases. I need to find a way to track App Lab a little bit better because I never go try to check and see what came out on App Lab. I don't even know if there's a way to do that. But as far as official Quest releases go, I thought it was an open and shut case. And you're looking at it. Runner was a phenomenal game. One of the best games of the year, let alone October. And Eric, since we covered it, it's even had some pretty significant updates.
Yeah, I mean, they put in a save system, which was, this is a tough, hard game, and it can take you forever to get through this. And they put a checkpoint system in now where you can get a checkpoint throughout the mission, so you don't have to start all the way back at the beginning. So, and it got some graphical upgrades and a couple other items too, so they're working on it.
Yeah. And now, Roots, when we covered the game, we made a point to point out that you can play it how you want. You can play it for leaderboards or you can play it for progress. And it's notable now that they've added a bunch of features in there to make it better for you if you just want to play for progress and you're not worried about the leaderboards.
Oh, nice. Well, it was already fun to begin with, right? So
yeah. It's a phenomenal game. And again, I thought it was a hands down winner for Quest. No debate needed. But then Eric said not so fast.
Yeah, I did. Not so fast. Sorry. Yeah, not so fast, because there was one other game that came out, and it was actually an App Lab game that just hit the Quest store proper, and that is Iron Guard. Iron Guard is a really cool tower defense game that has a huge progression system with many branching, technical and paths for your character and your towers, and it's got a really cool sci-fi story, and it looks freaking beautiful inside the headset. So much so that it's got 30 levels, and I played through pretty much almost all of them. And I think Radio Runt did, and so did Tasselhoff, said this is one of their favorite games. So there's some people out there that were really playing it to the point where it's gotten one of the first tags from Oculus as like a highly rated game or something like that. It's like a new thing from Oculus that they're putting out there for games that have high ratings. So yeah, I mean, if you're into tower defense, this is a really, really, really good game. This is probably one of the best of them out there.
Roots, doesn't Iron Guard sound like something that gives you long-lasting antiperspirant protection for up to 12 hours?
Yeah, it sounds like I can have like all sorts of jingles going through my head right now from my childhood. Yeah, no, I mean, this is the thing. It's tower defense, and I would say, okay, and I did say this to you guys, it's tower defense, man. I'm not that big into tower defense, but Radio Run is. He's kind of a snob about it too, and the fact that he is singing praises about it, saying how good it is. He played through the entire thing. I think it took him 7 or 8 hours. Tells me a lot, gives me a lot more perspective. I looked online. There's a lot of really positive reviews for it as well. And Blue Bell says she just wants to thank us for all our hard work. She says the chat is okay too. I mean, great too. $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Blue Bell. You're awesome. And yeah, we appreciate you.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you very much. We really appreciate the support.
Don't turn your back on Blue Bell either. She's vicious and Among Us.
Oh, I heard that, actually. That's crazy.
I have to get back in there. I had a blast playing that with you guys the other night, but I haven't had time to even get back in VR, except for that thing we did yesterday.
That's all I want to do, really.
Yeah. No, see, it's weird because I'm like Roots. When I hear tower defense, I think, no, thank you. But VR has kind of refined my understanding of these games a little bit, because I don't necessarily think that it's the tower defense aspect of these games that turns me off so much so as the RTS edge of it. I don't really like real-time strategy games.
Wes, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry. That's actually kind of rude. But Dark Angel just said she got the email 25 minutes ago, and so I checked, and I've got an exclusive pre-order alert for me. Register now for your chance to pre-order, it says.
Are you shitting me? Hold on. We're doing this in
Hold
real
on.
time.
All right, I got to go, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I did not bring my my phone with me, so I specifically wouldn't be checking it every 5 minutes, and we're going to check my email now.
Got shit. Got nothing.
Did you really get one, Roots, or are you pulling my leg?
I really did. It says, thank you for registering. So I don't know. I guess, is this another register? A second register email? Is that what this is? It was at 419.
Your chance to order PSVR 2. Register now. This isn't the email.
Did you get it too?
Yeah, I got it. This is just
another hey, you better click it, Wes. If you don't
this is an email trying to talk people into registering. This is not the invitation.
Is this
what you got? I didn't even get that though.
Oh man, you didn't get this amazing
check out,
email?
Go to promotions or all mail. I go with the
maybe.
all mail. But you click on it, you click register now. It takes you to the same damn page I've registered on 50 times at this point. I'm going to do it one more time right now in real time.
You might as well. Dark Angel, did you
Fuck
just
you,
troll?
Sony. What a fucking asshole Sony is for doing this. Jeez.
I still don't see it. I don't think I have it.
For
Is
real?
it from
Hey, I just
PlayStation?
registered, man. I'm registered.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Fucking
We're gonna get
assholes.
this is the next wave, Wes. Why would they send another one out? Unless this is maybe another wave. We got it.
We should have got
We're
this
in.
email like 2 months ago, like
We're in.
3 months ago. Like,
I don't think
come
you were
on.
registered. That's why I didn't get mine. You probably didn't register.
We're in. We did it.
We did it.
I didn't get it. I don't have it.
What
It's
a
from
huge...
PlayStation. Go to all mail. It's the very top thing.
Dark Angel
Fucking
says, "Wow, I'm so sorry. What a
bastards.
huge chain yank. You know who loves to yank the chain?
My mom!
Yeah,
She
she
does.
does.
She's
At least you
good at
guys
it,
got
too.
it. I didn't even get that.
No, what's
You did it
crazy
wrong.
is I
It's your fault.
I
You did it wrong.
I saw it, and I even got to interrupt Wes. I apologize for interrupting you with that huge chain yank. And
What? I mean, how fucking tone deaf can you be, Sony? I mean, come on. People sitting on the edge of their chairs waiting on this fucking invitation email, and then they send this fucking thing out and just totally psych. You know, here's your email. Oh, psych.
Whoops.
well, at least
I'm not even
we
gonna buy
got
it now.
registered.
Fuck
I
it.
only registered like 3 or 4 times the other day. I needed one more. So
Yeah, I register. I would literally register every day on one of my accounts. I don't do
Do
it
you
on
really?
all of them. Yeah, I don't do it on all of them because in case it resets the queue every time you click it.
Ooh.
That's what it does.
so
That's why I
I've got-
these emails.
Yeah, I've got three different accounts that I registered all on.
Well, son of a
as soon as the
bitch.
thing went up.
I just
I mean,
reset my queue.
I'm hoping I didn't get this because I'm already registered. That's the only thing I can. I'm hoping.
I think
I didn't get it.
somehow you slipped through the cracks.
God damn it! This is gonna suck.
Anyway, now I want to shit on Iron Guard even more than I was already.
Wait a minute,
going
hold
to.
on.
Fuck this.
No, anyway, I was
Oh.
saying, I used to just completely associate tower defense with real-time strategy. And I don't think it's so much the tower defense aspects that I don't like about these sorts of games. It more as the real-time strategy. I think VR has refined my understanding of these games because I've played tower defense games in VR that I like. I like Captain Toonhead because it incorporates first-person shooter with tower defense. I like Jenny and Thaco because it incorporates spellcasting into the tower defense. I thought those games were phenomenal, fresh takes on the tower defense genre. This looks much more like a traditional RTS tower defense game, and it could be great, but typically these sorts of games are not my thing.
Yeah,
Well-
it has the first-person shooting though, like you talked about for Captain Toonhead, because you control a drone ship with your hands, with
Ooh.
your controller, and you shoot, just like Toonhead does. And it's deeper than Captain Toonhead. So where Captain Toonhead, you get to upgrade things, but it's the upgrades are slow. This branching system is one of the deepest I've seen for upgrading, and different because you can upgrade your drone ship, you can upgrade all the towers, your technology to open up new things. It's pretty deep.
Oh God, you're selling me on it. My problem is these games make me feel like I suck at them because I usually do, and so I'm like, oh man, I'm getting my ass kicked. That sounds cool though. This is the thing. It sounds like if you're a really big fan of this, it's just like any game, you want to be in that game, right? And then this would be like the best version of that game. Radiant Runt's really saying this is a good game. So
So the
Yeah,
question
I hate
then,
these
Eric,
kind of games too. I'm like you. I'm like with you, Wes. I hate these games, but I'm mobile.
you heard it here. Mash hates Iron Guard.
Flat.
So I ask you then, Eric. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to one question. Roots and I have not played this game. You have Iron Guard VR or Runner.
The problem is with me, if I'm going to choose what I think is my favorite game, I'm going to go with Runner because it's more my style of game. If you're more into the RTS, if you're Radio Runt, this is your game. This is your jam. But for me, Runner is a faster paced shooting game where I just enjoy it more. But both are really, really good games. So for me, I'm going to pick Runner, but I could easily see where there's going to be a huge amount of people that pick the other style of game.
It's like people shitting on Nirvana for not being super technical with their music. Doesn't matter. It sounds good, right?
Right.
And it's the same thing with games. If a game's fun to play, then I don't need to upgrade all my bases and shit, bro. Give me a motorcycle. Let me shoot some shit. I'm down.
Is Runner? It's not early access, right? I know they're still changing things, adding stuff to it, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it's only out on Quest, and yeah, it's the full version.
Oh.
So yeah.
I mean, if
Dark Angel.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Now, Dark Angel coming through with the 650, completely embarrassed and huge apologies for mistreating. Well, I'm sorry. No, there's no need to apologize to me. I'm sorry for you because I know you got excited just the same way I did. It's not on you, Dark Angel. This is completely Sony's fuck up. I mean, come on. How many times can you fuck up one right after another with regards to marketing? It's so stupid.
And to keep this in mind, Dark Angel, it was the highlight of my life. It was good.
You think Pimax is handling Sony's marketing?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, this game, my thing is I feel like, and this of course is without playing this, I feel like this game, from what everybody's saying, is very deep and very detailed and very fleshed out. And I feel like it's, I don't know, man. I should have, did you guys look at the runners reviews? I'm at a disadvantage because I didn't play this game. But
they're very close. Like Runner's 4.6 and this and Iron Guard's 4.7. So they're very, very close.
All right.
This is the deeper game. You know what I mean? Because this is 30 levels of progression and there's just different worlds. Every world is different. You move to different biomes, different areas that you're going to. Where Runner's pretty linear. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. The story is okay. This is maybe a little bit more fleshed out. But again, I think it goes by what game you like better. So, this is a tough one.
If you take that out of the equation and just say which game does the community like, or like if you said, okay, somebody likes whatever game, whatever genre, what would you say?
Well, let me rephrase that for you. Do either of these games or both of them deserve to be in the conversation for Oculus Quest Game of the Year?
No.
Yeah, probably not. Actually, absolutely not. I don't see how either game could beat Iron Man at this point that I just played, and that's just one of the few games, right?
Red Matter 2.
Red Matter 2.
I mean, there's some bangers came out this year.
Ryan Burns says, Mash, did you try Iron Guard VR? Yes, I did. I played it on Steam before it even came out to the Quest. I played it on App Lab, and now I played the Quest version, and I played quite a bit of it too. I think I actually beat the whole game. I've gone through at least the 30 levels. I don't know if I finished the actual story, but because there's an end boss that you have to beat. But yeah, I pretty much played through it all.
I just got.
I have not played through All Runner yet.
I'm in.
Another one.
Let's get everybody running to their thing again.
So I'm going to put it to the chat just out of being thorough here. I think Runner should be the game of the month, but I haven't played Iron Guard VR. Let's see what the people say about it, and I'm willing to listen because Mash says it's really good. All right, so there we go.
And Radio Runt says it's good. Who else did you say is singing praises of it?
Tasselhoff played the crap out of this thing. I don't know if he's beat it yet, but I know he bought it and played a lot of it. Definitely Radio Runt has been singing its praises, and yeah, I mean, it's got like I said, it's 4.7 on the Quest Store, and that's pretty good. And I think it resets when they move from App Lab to Quest. So even if it had a good following on App Lab, they lose all that when they go to Quest Store, I think. So they're having to start from scratch again.
It sounds like
it just means that people have to go and re-review it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
It sounds
just
like
sucks that you lose all that though. You have all those people that played it already.
It sounds like from what Radio Runt's saying and from what you're describing, it could be the best RTS game in VR, outside of that I guess even inside depth wise, right?
Yeah, it's pretty deep. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, 30 levels is a lot, and these levels you have to play them multiple times because it's not an easy beat. So there's good 10 hours to this game. I found this game through PD, by the way. PD did a great Steam video on this game, and that's how I found this game, and that's how I reached out to the developer, and that's why I have a relationship with Iron Guard now. It's because PD did a great game, did a great review on it, and he absolutely loved this game in Steam. And this is the Steam to Quest 2 conversion is exact. It looks so good, and
it gives you great all day long lasting protection.
Yes,
Iron Guard.
Yeah, it does.
Roll on.
Brandon says doesn't matter which one, neither a game of the year or top 5, and actually initially said, yeah, I agreed with Wes when he said that. But what if you're the developer of the game? You know, it probably matters to them if they win the Virtual Strangers awards. Actually, some of them have actually put that in their promos, right?
Really
For
true.
what
Good
it's-
point, Wes. Yeah,
For what it's worth, I never said yes or no. I just asked the question. And for what it's worth, I feel like Runner deserves to be in the conversation. Now, I don't think it's a favorite to win Game of the Year, but I love Runner. I think it's a great game, and I think it absolutely deserves to be in the conversation.
So what did
Yeah,
we
I
get?
mean,
We got 15 votes. What is
Yeah, I
this?
don't know. Yeah, I don't like I said. I don't think either one of them. I mean, you got to get through some big games, Wes. I mean, you're gonna
Like I
put this
said.
over. You're gonna put this over Red Matter too. I mean, even a
No.
discussion. I mean, this game.
I
so was thinking-
repeat, I would not call this a favorite to win
But
Game
could
of
you?
the Year.
But like, let's talk about favorite. Could you even put it in the top 5? Could you put Runner in the top 5?
Request?
Yeah.
Let me think. Maybe. What else came out? Moss Book 2 and Red Matter came to mind right off the top of my head. And Iron Man, that's another
Iron Man,
one.
That's 3.
And
that's
yeah,
and
two-
That's
yeah,
3 in the last month.
exactly. I guarantee we could find 2 more. I don't think Runner's top 5. I just don't. It's a great game. You trust me. I
Name
love
2
this
more.
game.
Name 2 more then.
Just give me a minute. I'll start to look. Hang on.
I'll find 2 more.
Well,
guarantee you, there's something
it's
we're
a
missing
long
there.
year. There's a
Yeah,
lot
there's a
of
lot.
Quest games that came out.
Resident Evil 4 came out this year, or was that last year?
No, that was last year.
All right.
By the way, free with Oculus Quest purchases right
That-
now.
th-
They're bundling it with Beat Saber, Resident Evil 4, and they're knocking like $30 or $40 off the price.
Yeah, that's huge. That is one of the biggest. news of
Ryan
the day.
Ryan Brandon says Among Us VR, and I that's going to be a big one in the discussion as well, because like I said before it came out, it was going to be huge, and it hasn't even really hit its stride. I don't think. But we'll see. Time
Good
will
call.
tell.
Chris9989 says Zenith. That's a good one.
Mhm.
And also says The Walking Dead Retribution, which we can't really say yet, but I think it's a safe bet that's going to be in the conversation. And Among Us. Among Us might be in the conversation too.
Yep.
It's really good.
But again, that's it. It's a great concept. It's as good as your friends, and we have awesome friends. So, like, if you had assholes for friends, that game would probably suck.
Well, or if you had no friends and you didn't feel comfortable with other players, I mean, you could be a quiet person.
Oh, fuck yeah, good call, Brax, bro. Bone Lab
Yeah.
might win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
so it's kind of like one of those things where we've said with lists of PlayStation VR or whatever games, you're like, oh yeah, I can easily name the top 20, and then you start to think of games, and you're like, oh fuck, this is harder than I thought. Games start coming to mind. Things start getting pushed back, right? So
Well, at any rate, Game of the Year conversation is for a later date. We will get back to this, but for what it's worth, Runner is the game of the month, unless you guys firmly object. The
I've
chat
never played this
agrees.
game, and I'm just going by what other people say. And Runner is an amazing game, so I will go with it.
I'm fair with it. I'm definitely there. I mean, we could give
There
it
we go.
a runner up, but again, I don't think either one of them are going to win anyway. So
Right.
At that point, I don't think
yeah,
it's worth it.
Yeah, the runner-up thing is just to nominate it for the conversation.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Mash, you made me want to go check this game out and see what, because I have played some cool RTS games, and just seeing all that action going on right in front of you, and if it's, it sounds like it brings everything together with the ship and controlling with your hand, and it's pretty cool.
definitely, it's good. It gets hectic. It's a lot of fun.
Braxbro says, would you put Red Matter 2 over Wanderrail? Now, that is a discussion that I've been having with myself for about 6 weeks now, and I don't know what way I'm going to go with it, man. Like, the Game of the Year is going to be so tough this year. That's why it's important if you want to have a real impact on that. And by the way, everybody gets a say, but the patrons get votes just like we get votes.
We need you, patrons.
Yeah, we need you to show up and help us figure this out, because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, we need
Yes.
lots of people in there this year. I mean, we had like, what, 5 or 6 last year of us in there doing it. It was pretty cool. But
We need
had,
them all.
we need like 15, 20 people in there.
I think
I'm
it's
probably going to solicit RSVPs within the next couple of weeks and start to kind of organize that thing.
It's smart. It's smart because it's bringing. See, I was thinking about this the other day. I saw PD was giving away a Quest 2 to his patrons, right? And like we're kind of doing the same thing. We're letting you be a part of the discussion. It's almost as good as getting a free headset, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have a voice.
Seriously. Yeah, and all of us already have Quest 2s anyway.
I think it's gonna be
Right.
fun.
Otherwise,
two
we don't
of
want
them.
your vote. We don't want your vote anyway because you don't know what you're talking about.
Let's talk about PCVR for a minute. Really no discussion to be had here either. Requisition VR came out last month, but it was in early access. And as you know, we wait for early access games to hit full release in most cases. Ultra Wings 2 and Virtual Reality 2 both hit Steam this month, but they hit Rift much earlier this year. So they're not really new PC releases. We've had those games for a long time. So really, in terms of viable contenders for Game of the Month on PC in October, there's only one. And I think that this is a legitimate Game of the Year contender, Moss Book 2. One of the best releases of the year, Roots, and the Steam version, the best version yet.
Yeah, this thing is AAA from top to bottom, right? Like it's got everything, the story and sound, everything. It's just really good. Definitely a contender.
Roots is going to have to get busy, isn't he? I mean, he's got to play through Wanderer. He's got to play through Red Matter 2. Got to play through Moss Book 2. Dude, you got to get on it, bro.
I
We
need
all
to,
do.
You know, I'll tell you what. It's the best way to force the issue is to stream it, right? Maybe I'll start doing, like I was saying, some Risk of Rain too. Maybe I start doing some streaming of Moss Book 2. I mean, I'm more apt to stream a PC game than a Quest 2 game, and I blame Meta for that because they don't let me have a Twitch chat in my headset. So
I always tell these developers that when they send me Quest keys. I'm like, well, I really want to make a video, and it's so much easier to do a video on Steam. So if you want to throw me another key, that would be really cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely
but
easier to
no.
stream, that's for sure. I hate streaming freaking Quest 2. There's always some jank, especially if you're going to try and switch back and forth between Quest 2 and Steam, or even Rift. To go from PCVR to Quest 2, I always have audio issues. There's always something going on.
Yeah, well, it sounds like we need to streamline our process a little bit here. For what it's worth, it's supposedly a lot better now than it was last time that I streamed from Quest. There are options now that used to you had to go into side quest to enable this stuff. Now you supposedly can do it straight from the menu, so that's a big thing. But yeah, it needs to get way better even still. This should be seamless. You should be able to hit the button, stream, have the chat in your headset. This isn't like rocket science. This is stuff that PlayStation was doing 10 years ago. So, yeah, let's get on it.
Yep.
Anyway, that's Game of the Month. So nothing on PSVR. We got Runner on Quest. We've got Moss Book 2 on PC. And something tells me, guys, that November's not going to be so easy.
Yeah. What about the Pico? What's on the Pico store? What's game of the
Pico
month?
Game of the Month.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Red Matter 2. Did you guys see the side-by-sides?
Yeah.
They put out side-by-sides of Quest version versus Pico version. You know how good it looked on Quest to begin with. It's better on Pico.
I'd
It
love
is
to
time-
see
time to
Pico
reach out for
version
Pico.
versus Quest Pro.
Ooh. Yeah, I think it's time to reach out for a Pico key from.
Yeah. Actually, that's good. That's where I forgot. MASH has got all
Shiny
that.
Robot.
So you can see that from MASH Daddy on the QTC VR Gamer channel. Coming soon.
I wonder if, when Quest came out and they had the Facebook integration, there was third-party software called Oculus that lets you use your Quest without registering it on Facebook. I wonder if there's a Pico software that allows us to do it without China stealing all of our information.
Pico
Like,
less.
hold the Pico.
Hold the Pico de Gallo.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I get a Pico 4? Hold the Pico, please. That's the,
I want a Pico 4. I really do. I really do want a Pico 4. And sometimes I come very close to talking myself into getting one, but then I can't. So
It's really nice. I mean,
I bet.
it's by
That's
far
awesome.
the better headset. Like, really, if you're, I mean, I'm not done with all my reviews on it because I've been so busy and I went into the Quest Pro right away. But I think if you don't own a headset, like for you, it probably wouldn't make any sense other than because you want an upgrade. But if you don't own a headset, I think there's a case to be made for not going to Meta and getting the Pico.
What if you want
It's that much of a better headset.
What if you want a robust library?
It's pretty damn close. Like it is a lot. Like I mean,
It's close. It's close. You're saying it's close. There's like compared to like what they've got. I mean, I know that they've got a lot of developers and they got games out there, but I can't imagine it's close.
It's getting there. I mean, you're not going to have the Oculus exclusives for sure. So you're not going to be able to play, Beat Saber. You're not going to be able to play,
Man.
yeah. I mean, but you will have. Like I'm looking at that library now. I mean, there's a lot of games in there. Most big games that you can think of are in there right now. Like I went through them the other day. I mean, After the Fall is in there, and any new game that you see coming now, unless it's a deal that's made by Oculus, is going to be in there. So, I mean, there's games in here that we don't have yet. The Patcher is actually out on Pico. It's not even out yet on Quest 2. Coming.
What's that about?
It's a co-op shooter. I've been waiting for that one forever. Red Matter 2, it's coming. It's not there yet.
I was just telling Roots the other day, Patcher's going to be Game of the Year. Oh wait a minute, no, I wasn't.
I have no idea what the Patcher is. I'm not arguing that it's not going to, but even that sentence you just said, Red Matter 2 is not there, but it's going to be there. There's a lot of games that are going to be there. So right now, for me, I would say that if I wanted a robust library, I wouldn't be steering towards that. Maybe a year from now. It's going to take a while until it gets to the point where Quest 2 where they've got everything. I mean, granted, the Quest 2 won't have all those weird Chinese games that like the Vive port has, but I can get that from Viveport.
I mean, there's a lot here, guys. I mean, Real VR Fishing, Les Mills, 11 Table Tennis, Blades and Sorcery.
I'd love to see a side by side because
Demio.
There's a lot not there
After
too.
the Fall.
And you would never know what's not there unless you had a list of all the games side by side.
Places, Tales of Monogro. Let's just look at role playing and see what games are here. In Death Unchained, Resist.
Woo!
Resist is pretty good. What, you don't think Resist is a good game? Zombieland, Fisherman's Tale, Alt Deus, the original Red Matter, Pixel Rip, Battlestar,
They have Garden of the
Sam
Sea?
and Max. Jupiter. They don't have Garden of the Sea. Thank God.
Damn it!
Down the rabbit hole.
I'm not saying that they don't have games, and I'm not saying it's not a viable headset for a lot of people. I'm just saying if you wanted to have the best library out there,
What?
Meta would be the way I would go.
Derail. Are you serious, Derail?
Animated
Derail says,
series.
rest in peace, Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Oh yeah,
former...
from Batman. Yeah. What's his name? Wolvie was talking about that in the Discord earlier. I think voice of Batman.
No, Anthony Rumble Johnson is the former light heavyweight title contender in the UFC.
Totally different guy. What a bummer.
A very
Yeah, rest
young
in peace.
and relatively healthy human being. I'd be interested to find out what happened to him. Jeez.
What a bummer. There's too much death.
Seriously.
Seems like there's a lot this year, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into some reminders. We've been at this for a couple hours now, and we've still got a ways to go. We're going to start with what's out this week. But before we do that, let's talk about what came out last week. We weren't here last week to tell people what were coming, and so no one knew when Among Us... Oh, wait a minute. Everybody knew when Among Us dropped. But what they didn't probably know is that Shores of Loki also came to Quest. Do you remember the show Shores of Loki, Roots? It was... that kind of like puzzling places, but it was had this kind of fantasy world that you were in, building together these scenes.
I do. I think Scion or somebody was talking, or maybe somebody was talking about that game recently, going back to it or playing it, and so maybe that was it.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I haven't played it on Quest, but I gotta imagine, Eric, that this one probably translates pretty well.
Yeah, it's really, really good. On Pico?
On Pico. Chinese shill. He's a shill for the Chinese.
Yeah, who is it?
Pretty good VR, man.
Like, just jump on board and take the money train, right? Like, why is anybody fighting the Chinese train anymore? Just take the money.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, that's not all that came out. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 mod came to Quest, and this is one that I haven't played yet, and I'm kind of upset about it. It looks pretty cool.
We should make it one of the games we're going to play for the show, and then we'll end up playing it, right?
Well, we have to. We talk about having to play Wanderer and Red Matter and all this stuff. But for the mod awards, we got to play. There's still some mods we haven't got to. So we're going to have to make our way back around to those too.
That's one of them. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what was out last week. Let's take a look at what's out. Anything good coming out this week, guys?
Garbage.
Garbage down.
Can't think of anything.
What is this place? Some kind of old nuclear facility?
Yes, an old nuclear test site. Watch out for any remains of contaminated radioactive material.
Wish me luck.
Be careful and keep your wits about you.
Reality is merely an illusion.
As originally seen on Virtual Strangers episode 37, LONN, out of nowhere, gets a release date for next week, November 17th. This week, 4 days from now. Eric, is it me, or does this game look a lot better than it did last time we saw it?
Holy crap, man. And the last time we saw it, we were like, holy crap, this looks great. And now it looks like it went up to another level. It looks fantastic. This has quickly become like a game. I'm like, I can't wait to play this game. And it happens to me all the time. I forget about this game. Like every time I see a trailer, I'm like, oh my God, this game's going to be amazing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I forgot about that game. What was the name of it? And there it is. It's like ready to launch, man. It looks fantastic.
Looks incredible. It really does. Like visually, it looks like among the best that we've seen in VR to date. Roots, Lo-Fi waiting too long to launch?
It's starting to feel like it. It's been forever.
Yeah.
I was just saying in between. It's one of the only games or things I've ever kickstarted. I've been waiting for Lo-Fi, and hopefully it's as good as we. This looks amazing. Let's put it that way. And I'm just baffled on what the flat gaming industry is doing, because like they will like talk about a game for 6 months before it comes out. This model of just dropping it in your lap the week of, I think they need to start doing this for everything. Marketing genius. Maybe it's just weird. We haven't heard of this game for a while, right?
Well, let's talk about the marketing for this game, because I am fucking dumbfounded here. I scoured in my opinion, this LONN coming out this week is the story of the week. If it wasn't coming out this week, I would have led the show with it. I've been waiting a long time on this game. Super excited for it. I had to scour the internet, and I found one article, and it's from IGN India. Like this article we're looking at here, this is not like regular IGN. This is IGN India. It's the only article and it's one paragraph. I don't know if these people at Sixth Sense are just assholes to everybody and
You
no
can
one
ask
wants
them.
to
They're in
cover the
chat.
game.
You can
Are
ask
they?
them. They're here in chat. You can say, hey, you can ask them, hey, Sixth Sense, how you doing?
Hello, Sixth Sense. Why will no one cover your game except for us in IGN India? Like, I thought for sure there'd be something on Upload. Nothing. Road to VR. Nothing. VR Scout. Mixed News covers everything. Arthans covers everything. Nothing. Crickets. I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just trying to put it together. And Brutes, we've been a little bit critical of VR media before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems like they're on a different page. For some reason, they've just decided, especially and just even in general, a lot of it is, and I guess and I think Tiffany said this in one of her interviews. A lot of it's funding, right? They don't have the funding to market, but even just getting the buzz out there. And so I want to know, that's the thing I would want to know is like, it just seems like the industry in general doesn't market their things the same way. And a lot of games drop and you don't even know, oh shit, man, I didn't even know this game was coming. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah, it is crazy. And before you interrupted me, Eric, I was going to say, I don't think so, because when we covered these guys or this game on Virtual Strangers 37, they reached out to us like immediately, and we had like nothing back then. We were like 100 subs, 150 subs, and we thought it was really cool that they even knew about us, let alone would reach out and say thank you. So yeah, I don't understand why nobody's covering this game. It looks like it's going to be one of the best releases of the year.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Roots said is what it is a lot of these indie studios don't have the people to be able to run a full marketing, push for these games. And what happens is a lot of times they get pushed back or they just don't put as much as they can into it because, again, a lot of the money is into making the game itself. A lot of the people that are there in the studio are people that know how to make games and don't know how to market. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're game makers. They're making a fantastic game. They just don't know how to do it. And the funding really isn't there for the marketing, and it's so tough. These people end up having to wear multiple hats and trying to figure this thing out, and they just get left to the side. And when there's so many games coming, Wes, that we just talked about, there's so many games coming, it's impossible for everybody to pick up every game. So it's important when studios like this can stop in and for them to for Sixth Sense Studios to stop in a chat like this is important. Come and say hi, and introduce yourself to the communities.
And
Get
they
your
have
name out there. Yeah, it's great.
Like when we covered it the first time, like I said, they reached out to me via email. We've covered every little bit of development news on this game, and typically they'll at least comment on it. So yeah, I agree. What you're saying is absolutely true.
Yeah, and then we're going to cover the crap out of it. I mean, that's what we'll do. I mean, because it looks phenomenal, and in the end, we don't care. We just want to play great games. So we will take this game and we'll cover it on all the platforms that we have because it looks fantastic. And I don't care how much they promote it. I'll promote it for them if it's a great game, right? We all will.
They had me at rich narrative, single player, story driven campaign.
Exactly,
because that was the next thing I was going to say is like everything looks phenomenal. I just hope that there's like a reason why I'm going through this thing because I'm a story driven type of person. So that just kind of went up a notch. I was
telling Eric Roots, like really the only question with this game is how long is it? Like you can tell the production values are there. This is something Eric and I were talking about this yesterday. It looks like a Half-Life Alyx Boneworks level production in terms of production quality. And obviously the action's there. It's a fast-paced adventure game, story-driven. Really the question is it going to be done in 2 hours? And if the answer is no, I mean, we're going to be talking about this one, at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, and the gunplay is here because they just showed it to us. So when we kind of already knew it had an awesome, cool sci-fi, Blade Runner type story to it. So, this is going to be, what I just saw in that video makes me think I really, really want this game. I mean, it looks phenomenal. So it could be the full package.
Yeah.
The Our Heroes History is going down the road I was starting down. It says it's being blackballed. Like, why would it though? Like, I don't get it.
You know what? For the biggest thing that struck me, Wes, is this is like, I don't even know how many weeks in a row that it's convinced me that somebody, Upload VR, somebody should hire Wes. Like, Wes finds these stories that don't exist, and he's making it stories, and because they need to be. And yeah, good job.
So it has an arena mode and a park. So all right. So is this our stride story mode that we've been waiting on?
Yeah, it sure seems
could
like.
be. Very well, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that the game was going to have multiple modes. I don't need any of that stuff, to be honest. I just need the story campaign. As long as that's there, then we're good.
Yeah.
The voice acting sounds really good too. If you were watching that video, I thought the voice acting was really good. It seems high quality. I mean, it seems like they put a lot of time. We know they put a lot of time in it, but it seems like they put a lot of production value into it too. So I'm looking forward to it.
What do you think the cost is going to be? A little early to ask to pin it down, but I don't know if the devs know.
Yeah, all we know right now is they do a great trailer. So I don't know.
It looks really good. If it plays, if it has what they said in the chat, physics through and through, rich narrative, single player. I mean, everything that's what I want out of this game. And it was one of the things that, like I said, I was a little bit worried just in general about any game out there that I see a trailer about. It's like, okay, why am I going through this world? I need something to pull me through. And so excited to check it out.
Traveler Man asks, is LONN coming to Quest 2 or PSVR 2? And of course, feel free to answer that if you'd like. 6 cents. I think the answer here is probably, yeah, right, if you're still there. I think the answer is probably not coming to Quest 2. I think that they did allude to having a PSVR 2 dev kit on social media recently.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe be coming to PSVR 2. I'd be surprised if it's coming to Quest 2.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, this game doesn't look like you could easily move this to Quest 2. It looks like it would take a lot to do it. But
Quest Pro.
Maybe.
Are we?
Put it to the Rift
question.
Stores.
That's a question. Do you think we're going to start seeing titles go to Quest Pro only at some point? You know, I mean, not all of them, but maybe there'll be special ones, right? That maybe they're PC games, and they're like, "I'm sorry, we're bringing this to Quest Pro only." And I guess there's not too many people out there that would buy it, right? There's not many people that own it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing with that, like, if studios were going to develop specifically for that, these games would have to be close to launching on it right now, because Quest 3 is coming.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
And yeah, I don't think we're going to see any exclusives for Quest Pro. They've went out of their way to make sure that everyone knows that it's not a gaming device, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, I'm super excited for this. This is coming out the 17th, which I do believe is on Thursday.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. But the competition might be pretty steep. There's other stuff coming out on that day as well.
How was Digital Load founded? I'd say by accident. It definitely wasn't planned. It just came out of a question of why hasn't someone made a stealth game in VR? And so that kind of kicked it all off.
I played Espire, and I remember just climbing the wall in the demo. Like, you walk to a table, you pick up a gun, you holster it, you walk up to a wall, and you can climb it. And I was like, oh my God, this is where VR needs to be. This is doing things that is unique to the medium.
It's really uncharted territory. There's so much awesome stuff you can do. But we did that with Espire 1.
We want to take the learnings from Espire 1 and go, okay, but how can we do this better?
You're working for the Aussie version of the CIA or MI6. You're a drone operator of the future, and you're essentially putting your VR headset on in order to remotely control the Espire operative.
You're sneaking through sort of James Bond-esque facilities and international outposts.
You're basically trying to save the world from like a global plot by this terrorist military organization. And you play through levels and take out guards and you complete objectives.
So to make Espire 2 stand out even more, the second thing we've added is these playable frames. Cinder and Sooty,
One is more for tactical and takedowns, one's a bit more for hiding and sneaking around. So both are very good for the stealth game, but both two are very, very different.
Cinder is basically what players, I think, coming from Espire 1 and obviously playing shooters in general would be comfortable with.
Cinder is our full height soldier unit, similar to a regular size human.
It's the height that lets Cinder be able to climb up to really tall places and also be quite an imposing figure on the guards.
So Sooty's all about, predominantly built around stealth.
He's small, he's tricky, he can fit in small gaps, and he has an awesome tool to distract other people by using his voice or by using the player's voice.
Hands up.
And you can just be a bit more cheeky as Sooty.
You can create environments where it can go underneath tables or underneath like little pipes or something like that.
Another big differentiator with the frames is they each have a signature gadget. For Cinder, you're shooting tranq darts at the enemy.
The interactivity of you just being able to go like that and kind of pull back a lever and shoot something feels really, really cool. And again, so unique to VR.
And as the tiny Sooty character, you're actually shooting a noisemaker, and the noisemaker hits an object, and whatever you say into your hand comes out the location of the noisemaker. And so those two different abilities kind of really split the frames apart in how you want to play the game. The new co-op feature was the most requested thing that players wanted to see in Espire 2.
Multiplayer has been a lot of fun to watch grow and develop.
It's the first time we've ever done anything multiplayer as a studio. We've been lucky with the support of Tripwire Presents. They were built around amazing multiplayer games, so they've been able to help us on technical and design challenges.
As soon as you take a VR game into a multiplayer environment, there's all these interactions that just come out. So you can go in holes, but Cinder's really good for climbing because he's nice and tall. So one will reach for the shotgun and hand it to the other player. You'll be finding goodies and ammunition and batteries and trading it with people who need it at the time. You can heal each other as well.
There's a lot of fun in just kind of running around with a buddy and trying to coordinate and tricking the guards, using the noisemaker and coordinating what you're doing, and it's a really good time. So much of our culture is having fun while still trying to deliver the best possible experience we can for players, because we want to make a game that we want to play.
Lots of room for creativity and problem solving, but we work hard. Like, we don't crunch, but we do work hard.
We've grown from about 9 people to 24. There's a lot of passion for the work that we do and support for the team, morphing and growing as we change from a backyard operation into more of a serious business.
What's really cool about Load is that we're really good at developing specifically for VR. We really understand the medium, we understand what's unique about it.
In terms of VR, there's still a lot of room to grow. The conventions haven't been established, so there's so many opportunities to find like successful solutions. It hasn't been done yet. So it's not as simple as just going to like the biggest titles and doing what they do because they've worked it out. We get to do some working out for ourselves really, and I think that makes it really fun.
Espire 2, the sequel to the much maligned Espire 1, also coming this week, but with some very new and exciting features, namely, Roots, the one thing everyone asked for. You heard him say it right there in the video. Co-op support being added, but a separate co-op campaign, not the original campaign for this game. That's pretty interesting, right?
That is kind of interesting. Makes you wonder how extensive this is. I mean, you're getting a 2-for. You can play the original and you can play the co-op.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it, Eric, is that the co-op campaign actually takes place over the maps from the first game. So if you like the first game, which for the record, I think the first game is kind of underrated. You know, so many people placed high expectations on the first game. Like, we thought it was going to be the best game ever, and when it was just a good game and not like the best game ever, then I think a lot of people just shit on it over that. Plus, you know, it, for what it's worth, the performance was terrible on PlayStation VR. But in terms of the game itself, I feel like it's better than what a lot of people give it credit for. It's going to be nice to go back through those maps with a friend with 2 different frames that you can play, a short one and a really tall one. The world scales accordingly. I mean, it's just really cool. A lot of extra content here for us to play through with friends.
Yeah, this is going to be a super cool game. I was not a huge fan of Espire 1. I mean, it wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't a game that I thought was particularly really, really good, and I played it to check it out, and I never went back to it. I've played the demo of this one twice now. I played a basic demo, and then I played an extended version of the demo. And this is not the same game. So if you were not, like, I see people in chat, like, you're like, I'm Espire 2, I'm passing. Not, LONN looks good, but maybe not Espire 2. Don't sleep on this game. This is one of the best games the best demos I've played this year. And if the rest of the game is as good as the demo, it's going to be amazing. This is the closest thing you're going to get to Metal Gear in VR right now. The mechanics are fantastic. Using the two different types of robots. If you want to not stealth this game, you can completely go apeshit and just kill everybody, and it's okay. It's a different type of gameplay, and you'll have to go through the game differently, but you can completely do it. And then if you want to go and you want to play the game over again and do it stealth, you can do that too. So it's really good. It's one of the, I cannot wait to play this game. It's going to be really good.
That's good. It's coming from somebody that said that they didn't really particularly like the first one. Now, it's interesting that it's the first map or the first maps, right? For the co-op. Yeah. Makes me think that they were doing the co-op for the first game and maybe it went too long, or they said, okay, look, like, we're developing this co-op for a game that nobody's buying anymore. Let's put it into the second game. And I think it's good. Either way, at least we got the co-op mode. And it's going to be upgraded mechanics, right? Or any of the new mechanics that are in the second game or in this co-op mode, correct? I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's expanded out quite a bit with the addition of these new frames that you can inhabit. Namely, the shorter one that allows you to kind of travel through vents and stuff. Also, with the smaller frame that you can use, it has a very interesting special weapon where you kind of throw this projectile in the vicinity of your enemies, and then you can speak in your hand, and it throws your voice over there so you can distract them. Very interesting. And what Eric says is true, that, you don't have to play this game stealth, but everything that they've built in terms of like the special features and functions of these frames, it's made for stealth. So I think if the developer kind of pushes you into stealth a little bit, there's probably going to be a bit more fun to be had here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks good.
Yeah, and you can change it up on the fly too, right? So you even if you start with the more battle hardened robot, you can actually go stealth with that one as well. So you can pick that one, start out, shooting, killing everything, and then go stealth, and then go back the other way. So you can actually go back and forth on the fly, which was pretty cool. It was something I really liked in the demo, as I was like stealthy all the way till I got to this huge warehouse, and I just saw a ton of enemies. I'm like, I'm just gonna see what I could do just to kill everybody, and the weapons are great, the gunplay is great, and you can just unload if you want to unload on them. It's awesome. You know who else likes to unload on them?
You know who else loves to be unloaded on? Wolfie says the gun work is very decent, hoping for improved haptics. So was the gun work better and haptics better than the first one?
Yes, on both. Yep, the gunplay was way better this time than it was the last time. Like this is a true shooter now. If you want this to be a shooter, you can play this and it'll be a really, really good shooter. The gunplay was great. I liked a lot of the mechanics were really good, and the haptics did feel better in the controllers than it did in the first time.
And again, this is just a demo that you played like 2 months ago. Right?
Yeah, I played a short version, and then I played like a little bit of an extended version where I got a little bit more action. But yeah, I mean, we do have access to the game. I just haven't had a chance to get into the full game yet. But yeah, I mean, all signs are pointing to really, really good things.
Cool.
So what Eric says is true. We are going to be checking this one out and covering it, courtesy of our friends at Tripwire Interactive. So if you haven't already, click the damn subscribe button and ring the bell. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. I question your soul if you're sitting here this long and you haven't clicked the like and the subscribe button. What is wrong with you?
I mean, it's a nice, cute little bell icon.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. It feels very satisfying. Click.
Anyway, there we have 2 high-profile bangers out this week. Surely to God, nothing else coming out this week, right? Right. Broken Edge coming to us this week as well. Same day, November 17th. This one coming to Quest 2. I'm not sure if this one's getting a PC release or not. I know it's coming to Quest 2 from Trebuchet, courtesy of our friends at Fast Travel Games. Eric, $10 for this versus sword fighting strategy game.
I didn't really realize the price until you put this up. I didn't realize, because I did play this game at Gamescom too, and it's a freaking cheap price, man. $10. This game was pretty deep. There was a lot to this game when I played it, the demo. I thought it was really, really good, and I kind of like shit on the pastel-y graphics when it was showed on one of the Connects or the whatever it was, the Oculus showcases, but it was pretty damn deep playing it. This is not just a button smashing, wrist waggling game. There's a lot to this here. This is probably the most truest, like if you're gonna fence or sword fight, this is probably the most truest thing I've ever seen.
Roots, isn't it a bit ironic that the French are making a fighting game? I bet you can't like choose which side you're going to be on. It makes you stay neutral in the middle the whole time.
Yeah, or maybe the losing. Nah, I'm not going to go there. I'll tell you what, I'm not big into these type of games, but it looks like for people that are, it looks like it'd be pretty deep to it. I mean, I didn't get it. You said you got a chance to play this, Eric?
Yeah, I played this at Gamescom. This is a fast travel game. This was one of the games that the Gamertag walked me through, and he was really, he was telling me all leading up. He's like, this is going to be one of the best ones you get the chance to do. Because I was like, again, I think we all were like looking at this game like, I just didn't like the colors of it. I didn't like the look of it. I was not looking forward to it. I thought it was another, basically like just another cookie cutter game that we've already seen, these Melee games. And it was way deeper. This thing took me like 40 minutes to do the demo, and it took that long just to like get through teaching me how to fence and fight and sword fight. There's a lot to this game. It's not, like I said, it's not just a basic. This is not Blast On. So if you're thinking this is Blast On with swords, this is not.
How did it look in the headset? Bluebell saying that she didn't like the color as well.
I still don't like the colors. Yeah, it is what it looks like. But it's about the gameplay again. If the gameplay is good, I can live with the colors, and it doesn't look bad. It's just that it wasn't my first choice of color.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it looks interesting. I like that it looks different from other things. Like you see this game, you know what you're looking at, right? It's not like the what was the other game, Sentenced, where you're beheading people and it had that weird color scheme. Like that was similar to this, but like with puke all over it. This actually looks a little bit pleasing to the eye, I think.
Yeah. And you feel a little bit better about yourself at not cutting people's heads off or sentencing them. It's not my place to judge, Wes.
That's true. It's,
I don't like cutting people's heads off in general. I just think it's weird and creepy.
Oh, I love that part of it. I just it needs to be evil. It needs to be evil people.
Saints and Sinners, that's all you do in Saints and Sinners. If you cut people's head off.
Yeah, but if you it's okay if you don't take it back to the bus, Wes.
I took it back. But I lost my heads. Well, when I streamed this game last week, they only give you so many spots to put your weapons, and that's also the only place that you can keep your collection of decapitated heads. So I took my heads off of the stand and put them on the bookshelf.
Oh, no.
Went and did my mission and came back, and all my heads are gone. Like May Benoit's head's gone. What was the other one's name? Georgia. Her head's gone. Like, what the fuck, man?
I'll tell you what. If you could see like a time lapse video, who came in and cleaned up your boss is the question. Who stole your heads? Somebody's got those heads.
That's what I said. Somebody looters come in and took my heads.
Yeah, the governor. It's the governor. He doesn't have enough heads. He's going stealing other people's.
He's stealing Wes's heads.
Anyway, I don't know. Melee typically isn't our thing, especially if it's not campaign based. Like I can play it like an Asgard's Wrath or something like that. This, I'm a bit intrigued. I'd like to try it myself because it is a bit of a different concept. It isn't just all about the sword fighting here. There is some strategy at play. I'm interested. So
plus, if Gamertag was excited to show MASH,
yeah, he was.
That tells me a lot. Because Gamertag, unless it's good, he'll be the first one to say something's not good.
Yeah, different classes too. So like Wolf Raza was like just fencing or different styles. 5 different classes. I think it was 5. And every one of them plays different, right? Because you're using like a rapier, you're quicker, you're faster, you're in and out, you're moving quick, back and forth, because you have to like you're moving in your own play space with this game again. No thumbsticks. You have to actually move, so you have to like lunge forward and back. If you're using a heavy weapon like a battle axe or one of the big broadswords, if you were the knight class, slower, but you have a huge reach with your weapon. So you have shields that you can use that will actually take damage, and that they'll get they'll start to break, and so will your swords. So a lot of you have to like weigh your blocking and your parrying, because eventually your sword is going to break, and then that's how you're going to lose, because you have no sword left or no shield left. So that's why they call it broken edge. I mean, that's a big part of it. So there's a scoring system here. You know what I mean? So it's not just who can kill who fastest. This is about scoring. This is about leaderboards. This is this is a lot to this. So it's not just your normal game, and the classes do make it a lot different, because there's a lot of different ways to play this game.
Wow.
I think I'm going to choose the rapist class. You said there's a rapist class?
Yes, there is. Two of them.
The rapist. Oh,
the
therapist. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just joking. I have a rapist's wit. Anyway, there we go. Three pretty high profile releases this week. Surely,
it's crazy.
There's not anything else coming this week, right?
Oh, that's it. We're on.
Well, I forgot that's super short.
That was a quick
We're having
one.
a
So
conversation.
short it cut me off in what I was going to say mid-sentence.
That was a quick one.
Walkabout Mini Golf Mist DLC dropping on Tuesday. So actually this coming in 2 days from now. You're also getting a fun assortment of wearable masquerade masks from the Labyrinth course, and, wait for it, a reimagined shack menu to better organize your courses, tips, and more coming soon. Walkabout devs killing it, Eric.
Man, didn't they just come out? We just did another course not too long ago, and then right before that they had Labyrinth. I mean, they're like just dropping these courses like crazy. I can't believe it. I cheated and I went in and I played the first hole of Mist.
Did you really? I need one of you guys to help me set up my the right version or something, because I don't know where to go. So I was looking.
You got to put it on press edition, I think.
I don't know where that's at. I'm gonna need one of you two guys.
It's in the app.
Me.
You got to go in the mobile app and do it. Yeah, but I'll show you for sure. Yeah, it's easy. But yeah, I went in and cheated and saw the first hole. I usually don't do that, but I was so like just thinking about Mist and the world and how beautiful that game is, and can they pull it off? And was it going to be cartoony like Labyrinth, or was it going to be? And how are they going to do it? How are they going to present it? And man, the first hole looks pretty phenomenal. I'm so impressed.
Who else is impressed with the hole?
My mom.
Oh, she is. This game is super cool. I can't wait. Actually, I don't know. I got my Mr. Tass Golf Plus. What is it called? Swing Plus. Mr. Tass Swing Plus.
Swing Plus Pro
courtesy
mag,
of
mag stock.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let Mash see his Tass is screaming at the screen.
I
Guido,
have no idea
courtesy of Guido. So I appreciate Guido.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Guido. Guido's awesome.
You're gonna dominate. You're gonna dominate next time, Roots.
I know. I can't. I actually went in and I checked out that pro golf game for the first time. What's it called? Golf Plus. That's actually really good. And I was a lot better than I thought, although I did fuck a lot of shots up. But that was pretty good.
So you're gonna be on my team this time, Roots? Are we gonna take them on?
Yes, I'm not gonna be on. Well, I don't know. Gamer Chick's team. If she's got to be there, it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
But
Maybe,
she switches teams, so you can't really rely on it. I say I'd be on her team, but she's gonna say she's on Wes's team and then Mash's. So
you know who else switches teams all the time?
My mom.
She's on everybody's team.
You think Dee's gonna be able to get in the game with us, Eric, this time?
I don't know. I mean, she has access. I know she got the email.
Where is Dee, by the way? Is Dee in the chat? I don't think she is.
I saw her in the chat earlier. I think
she
she's
was
out
earlier.
But this is the thing. She's probably having the same issue I'm having because, like, I don't know how to switch it to that mode. Right? I've got access, but I don't have access. I've seen the email. I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know what? One of the things I'm excited to check out. I want to see what the revisioned shack is. The shack was actually really cool, right? So I bet it's going to be even super cool if they're making it better. I can't imagine how to make it better.
You know, they're doing this revolutionary new system that doesn't allow you to check out the next 6 months of DLC when you go in.
That's perfect.
I can't wait to get.
It works.
I can't wait for the first time. The next time I go in, before this comes out, I'll be able to collect balls.
So Dee says she was able to switch it over. Now she just needs to update her game. Do it.
There you go.
We're gonna
Get it
play
done.
Sim.
Yeah, we're gonna have to play tomorrow because I got to have a video ready for Tuesday.
Well, Monday's a good day for me because I.
There we go.
I will have a slow day.
But Eric, I want to play that other game.
I know that's the problem. Seriously, guys, we may have to cancel every show. Like between now and then, there's so
It's been
many
a good
things.
run. We did 172 weeks.
Seriously, right?
I got a good idea. I got a good idea. Let's just see if we can talk to the devs of Walkabout and have them push the game back a week so we can spend more time in that other game before they release.
Yes, there we go.
But then LONN's coming this Thursday and Espire 2 and
then before you know it, it's December 1st and Retribution is here, and that's going to be the only thing I want to play. You know what I mean?
True.
And, you know what we do? We let's just cancel.
2 weeks.
Let's cancel one of our shows. Either I'll cancel the Q2C VR Gamer Live, or we'll cancel the Sunday show, and then we'll just do one show a week.
I like it.
I like
Forever.
it. We'll just both do that show. We'll alternate. Screw all the people
We'll
that wanna
merge.
watch
We'll
us.
just merge. Let's just merge and to the hive mind. and become
I
one.
love it.
All of a sudden, Todd and Dee pop up in the corners.
Hello, everybody.
Here we go. Yeah.
Let's
be
just
the
bring
new
Alex
main
and
fan.
Skiba in, and we'll get 12 people in here.
That's right.
Anyway, damn, what a week. And we're just getting started, man. The coming weeks are just like this. And who knows what, I mean, LONN just dropped right in our laps. Maybe next week it's Vertigo Remastered, or Vertigo 2 rather. I mean, the Undead Citadel. I mean, when's that gonna drop? It could happen anytime. So yeah, super busy this week. Going forward, again, probably not going to be back for a lot of Sunday shows. We'll come back most likely after we get the categories set and nominees. We'll come back and kind of break all that down right before we open up voting for the public.
Oh yeah, Ryan Brandon. Hubris. Holy crap, Wes. Hubris is coming.
Yeah, that's coming all over this episode. Tom Flesher Gaming says, can't make it to without parole, and now you're trying to take my virtual strength. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the deal. You can come tomorrow and watch VR Crewcast. You get all of us again.
That's true. That's true. We are the true Knights of the Round VR table. Although I don't think we're going to be complete tomorrow. I think we're going to be down one or two, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's the whole great thing about having so many people is you still always have at least a few great people.
Nonsense. Let's just cancel the whole thing and we'll
It's
come
done.
back
It's
in 2
off.
weeks.
We're out. Let's go. Let's just play that game.
Yeah. Oh, is Vertigo 2 coming this year? I don't think.
It could. We don't know. We don't know when it's
if
coming.
Vertigo fucking 2 drops in December, we're screwed, man.
We're already screwed.
Pretty much.
2 weeks. If you do them, it's only 2 weeks until we're in a new Saints and Sinners game. Right? It's the 13th. I guess it was 2.5
It launches
weeks.
on the 1st of December. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was November 1st. Or no, yeah, December 1st. Yeah, no, I guess so. It's 18 days.
Yeah, something like that.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, we got that. We've got Hubris. We have other untitled game that we've been playing and can't talk about any more than we already have.
That's also coming December 1st.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is. So now is the time where we remind all of you to take a moment and join us as we do our part to support the developers out there, even the ones that are assholes. I'm just kidding. by wish listing a game. It could be a game that we've talked about here today. It could be a game that you've had in the back of your mind. But it's a big deal to these developers. It allows us to raise their profile up on the stores. It allows them to gauge user interest. And again, it's just a few minutes, a couple clicks, and it means a big deal to a lot of these studios. So I haven't actually went ahead and done this yet today, but we got a lot of good stuff to pick from this week, right?
Yeah, I was gonna do LONN, but it's already wish list.
Oh, let me
so
see. I might not have LONN wish list. So let's look.
I'm sure I've already got LONN on my wish list. What I don't have though is the Light Brigade, and there is a Steam page up for the Light Brigade. And
Really?
That's what I'm gonna go do. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
I'm
both
doing it
things.
then.
I do not have LONN.
What the hell, dude?
I know. That's the problem.
You're just like Upload. You're just like Upload VR, not covering all the good games out there.
Yeah, dude.
You're right. Wow. Light
Bullshit.
Brigade has this landing page too. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Well, you know what it means? That means that Sony's behind it. This is the thing, dude, or at least involved. I don't understand when a game is like, sometimes the game is about to come out and Wes and I are looking for anything on this game. Like, it's like a game's coming out tomorrow and we can't find a fucking press release. There's no page, nothing, right? Like, this is early. This is coming soon, but it's a while.
This happened to us last year. Remember, guys? Remember we were like in the middle of our discussions for Game of the Year, and what was it? Was 2076 dropped? Like, and we like 2 weeks before, and none of us knew about it, and we started playing it, and it was phenomenal. We absolutely loved it, and we had to like start talking about it for Game of the Year, and we had no idea it even launched.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Speaking of 2076, Cyberpunk 2077 just got a updated with AMD FSR 2.1.
Ooh, wow.
That's a lot of initials.
It is.
I want.
But it also happens to be the FSR 1 was what really made Cyberpunk mod run well for me. So I'm excited to see what the FSR 2 is going to do.
I would just want something new from Luke. Come on, man. We're waiting on the Spider-Man, bro, so you can move on to Returnal as soon as it drops.
Uncharted. Fuck Spider-Man.
Uncharted.
We've already played Spider-Man.
Really?
Is Uncharted any good? You ever played it? Eric, is it any good or?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. Is it a good game? You know what I want? You know what I'm seeing now? I'm sorry, go ahead, Wes.
No, I was just saying nobody's buying it. You wouldn't think it's a good game. Nobody's buying it on Steam.
I know. You know what I'm seeing now? Because I'm seeing like that Batista's gonna be like do the Gears of War show. I want a Gears of War in VR. I was talking about this the other night. Gears of War in VR with the fracked cover mechanic. Because Gears of War was all about cover.
We already have it, man. It's called Bravo Team.
I know.
Play Bravo Team.
Bravo Team is so good.
It's great. No, I did see that though. It's cool that they're doing a Gears of War show now. That's pretty awesome.
It's going to be a movie or a made for Netflix movie and a animated an adult animated cartoon also. I'm down.
Is there any point when you hear that they're doing whatever movie or series, there's like 70% of youth that knows it's just going to be shit, especially if Netflix is behind it these days. And then there's that 30% of like, I say, oh my God, it actually was good. It's like, you know what I mean? It's bizarre. It's almost like they just don't care. I don't think they do.
Michelle B says, I just bought Beanstalker for $2 on Humble Bundle.
That's a steal.
They just
that
gave
is
that away.
nuts.
They just end up giving that game away. I mean, I don't know how they're making any money on that game.
Yeah, they spent a bunch of money on advertising on like paying upload to put articles up and stuff. Like yeah, it's weird. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe LONN's not the asshole. Maybe Upload and all these sites make
charging?
you pay. Like that's a really assholey thing to do, right?
It is possible if that's the case.
That is very possible.
Blair Renaud goes off on these people all the time, fake influencers and VR media for, charging $10,000 to promote a game or something like that. I always thought he was being dramatic about it like he is with everything, but
who knows how much money's exchanging hands. I kind of like the we're in it to try to help developers. $10.
That's my price. $10.
That's all it costs to Wes? $10?
Wes is cheap.
Well, we have to keep things in perspective here.
Cheeseburger.
Right? We got like 2K subs.
Wow.
Oh, that's true.
If you want me to say something on Brian's show, then 20.
$20. Deal.
It goes up.
Anyway, I think that's our show for this week. Oh, we have to do our reminders of what you can do to help support us, our channel, and our community. Of course, we just said it. Subscribe, ring the bell. Oh, by the way, we did say, what did you wish list, Roots?
I wished listed the Light Brigade as well.
Light Brigade, and you did both, didn't you, Eric?
I did LONN and Light Brigade, yeah.
LONN and Light Brigade. Let us know what you wish listed in the comments down below, or don't, because you're not going to anyway. Although I will say that there's a few that are pretty good about sharing their wish list with us. So thank you to those people for participating.
We should just randomly give away to a comment here or there, a wish list comment, one of these keys that we forget to give away that have been donated, right?
I thought about that. That would really boost our wish list segment if we randomly, like if people posted their wish list and then we just gave a game away here and there.
That'd be a good idea, because then it's on people's minds. They're actually wish listing, and it helps the algorithm, right? Comments. So
it's a good idea.
Win-win-win.
Yep. I need to talk to every developer now to get them to sponsor it. Ryan Brandon wishlisted LONN. Braxborough wishlisted LONN. Ryan Brandon also Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 and Hubris.
Nice.
Sounds like a hell of a lineup.
Sounds like a hell of a future for the next month and a couple months.
Save your money.
How are we going to do it, Eric? Like you said, and still go into Wanderer and all these other things, and still raid Nax Ramus, and like
I got to finish Moss. I have not finished Moss yet.
We're going to do it. I'll tell you how we're going to do it.
Hours in, but
we're going to do it on Sundays. That's how we're going to do it.
Yeah,
we're going to make a point to play VR on Sundays so that we can get caught up on this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Braxbro says, need the show proof on Discord or something. Yeah, we could do a Discord channel. Everybody paste their screenshots of their wish list up there, and assuming that we could drum up some sponsors for this, it would be a great way to promote wish listing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We've been doing this for a while now, Roots. What, probably a year and a half we've been doing wish list?
Yeah. It's and we've been I mean, that's the whole reason why one of the reasons why we started the channel to begin with, is to be that middleman between the developers and the people playing the games, right? And
that's right. $10. That's our price. Anyway, if you like to do a little something extra, you can support us on Patreon. It gives you access to our weekly show notes. It gives you insider updates. It gives you exclusive content. It gives you access to our Game of the Year meetup and debate. It's not just Game of the Year. It's all of our categories that we give awards for on the 2022 show. All that and more for less than $1 per week. And $3 per month is all we ask. And you also get your name on the little ticker on the end, which, by the way, Roots, I finally updated it. We have an accurate last ticker going, and it represents everyone that's currently a patron and maybe one or two others that were already patrons that maybe we didn't have their name on there before.
Hopefully I remember to download it. No, just kidding.
What's up, Jim Chick? Says, I can't wait for the fall sale on Steam. You probably won't have to wait too long, man. They have one of those every other week, I think.
Wasn't that one game that they did the mod for? They said somebody was saying that was just on sale. Maybe it'll be on sale again.
That's true. That's very true. They typically put everything on sale, so that's a big one, the fall sale. I like the after the fall sale.
Yeah.
So it's called the winter sale. Anyway, what else? The Discord, of course. If you need people to lie to and stab in the back while you're playing VR Among Us, Virtual Strangers Discord is an excellent place to meet up with these types of people. Liars, all of them. Murderers, some of them. But good friends, one and all. And it's free to join. There's an invitation down below. We're there 24/7, lurking 365, waiting on our emails all together. Yeah, Sony, what's your deal, man?
Yeah. Well, we actually registered this time finally. See, that was a problem.
Yeah,
we didn't register last time.
Finally, we got the registration email.
Fuckers, I still didn't get it.
And Eric's like, I didn't even get that thing.
Damn it.
Watch it. Eric will be the one that gets invited now. Eric's going to be the one to get the actual invite.
We
We're
reset.
the one getting the marketing emails.
I got tricked
I'm
into
calling
being
Brian.
reset.
Calling Brian. He's got to know somebody. Calling him right now.
Get him on the phone.
I'm telling you, man.
You probably haven't even asked Brian.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna corner somebody on the floor in Vegas. I see Greg Rice. His ass is mine.
We just grab one in Vegas.
There's a good chance that you would be able to get the ear of somebody from Sony. So,
maybe
being that you're there from a PlayStation channel.
Yeah, the PlayStation channel that happened to leak everything that they've revealed a year ahead of time.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're fans.
Yeah, you never know. That's true. Actually, Bradley's the one that says that too. Like everybody always says that he's doing it for nefarious reasons, and he's probably burned more bridges than created with leaking stuff. Right? Sometimes that's what happens.
Brad can't help himself. He has a problem. He's a very passionate gamer.
Thank God. Imagine the world if he wasn't doing what he's doing. We wouldn't know shit, dude. We'd be in the dark still.
Deckard coming soon.
Yeah.
Or
you
later.
think?
Maybe.
Ever? I think we're gonna see. I think we'll see Apple before we see Deckard.
Probably will. Honestly, Apple expected to go into production in March.
Really? Nintendo. Yeah. But now that we know that Pimax is copying Nintendo.
Pimax has already done the Nintendo one, yeah.
Maybe Nintendo will buy Pimax.
Oh, God.
Nintenmax.
Yeah, they could do it.
Maybe Pimax will do an exclusive title with about two brothers who are plumbers in the Mushroom Kingdom.
What could they call it? Be some kind of knockoff, right?
Yeah. Super Luigi Brothers.
Yeah. Sisters. 2022, bro.
There you go. It is 2022. Anyway, I think that's our show for this week. I want to thank everyone who showed up in the chat. You all are awesome. I want to thank everyone who's watching after the fact. We will see you in the game, folks. For Roots and Eric, I'm Wes. We'll see you Wednesday. Probably before then. Probably do something Tuesday.
Cool.
Bye.
Take it easy.
See you later.